Oh man. All right. You know what? I didn't bring my water inside here. I thought I grabbed my water, guys, and I did not. Goodness gracious. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Right when I get here. Give me 1 second. Here we go. I need my water bottle for today, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. I need my water bottle today because we had a day. I still have not slept. I've been editing, cutting, pasting, editing, cutting, pasting. Where I needed to go. Oh my gosh, bro, it was crazy. Hey, look, you guys, you can't sit here and make jokes that I needed to use the restroom, bro. I was up sitting in this seat for how many hours? That's not fair to sit there and say I need to. Oh, you need to go poop, bro. I was sitting in this seat for with no break, like from when I started. I got up like at 2 something, 2 a.m. and I was here all the way through. So you can't make you. Can, there should be no jokes. Am I supposed to not get a bathroom break at all? I was here all morning, all early in the morning, and through the early, like, all the way past like an hour plus past the direct. That's you can't be making jokes about that, bro. I want to see you do it. I want to see you. You wouldn't be able to. But we got to talk about this Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. This kind of a compression. Like I was going over a bit of information, like a lot of information. Like there has been so much stuff flying left and right. So I wanted to do a stream tonight, and then I have a video that I'm working on for tomorrow morning. I don't know when that video will be out though, but the video will, like, there's gonna be a video. I just don't know when it'll be out. So yeah, so we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about all the different announcements, the good, the bad, pricing, all that stuff, because there was like a field storm online, which was so funny to watch. I had people telling me that Final Fantasy X looks better than Metroid Prime 4. I had people saying that, oh goodness, I had people saying that this is all just Nintendo's evil corporation. I had all sorts of stuff, so it was fun, and I think that we found out some more information. I know I kind of went off on the whole tariff thing, but it looks like there's more information on the tariff situation that we're going through. Also the cart situation. Like a lot of people did not understand the cart situation. Like they think that all games are just digital game keys. They are not. Basically you have the option, if you're a developer, if you want a physical presence, you can have like a hollow game key card where you can just essentially be like a hollow shell and it acts like a physical game, but it downloads it. So instead of having a piece of paper in a box, it's a little game card that you put in, and it's like that. So it's essentially the same thing, but not a piece of paper this time. So I wanted to get all the information before I did my stream. I didn't want to rush into doing another stream tonight or doing a video and not actually having all of the information. So that's the reason why this stream is later than usual, or this is why the stream is a little bit late, you know, because I wanted to get all the information, and I think I have it. I think I have everything, you know. I think I have everything so far. So so yeah, people are freaking out about game cards, but they really shouldn't. The more that I look at it, the more you shouldn't, because Nintendo Switch 1 had this and then some. Nintendo Switch 1 had digital codes in a box. Nintendo Switch 1 had games like where you download part of the game and you have to download the other part of the game online. So it's really no different than what we've had before. We've had digital codes in a box. This is essentially that. It's a digital code in a box. Street Fighter 6 and Bravely Default are that. All the other games right now that we know of are not that. So yeah, I think it's a combination of inflation's always going to be a thing. Inflation was always going to be a factor in terms of price, but I mean, 450, I don't know how much inflation affected that compared to something else, you know. Let's see here. Cybertorch with the $5.
Talks of the direct
Shout
are
outs.
definitely being felt out there. I was watching some other videos, saw yours, and there is a lot
Shout
out
outs.
there.
Yes, it is. Cool Goy says, OJ, I told you this console wouldn't sell. I didn't even need to debate you. I just let time prove me correct. The Wii U level disaster. Games look good on it, but it's over. How much you want to bet on that one, Cool Goy? Let's bet. Let's bet Wii U sold 13 million units. So you're trying to tell me that it's going to sell 13 million or less? I'm still down. So you said it's Wii U level disaster. It's absolutely not Wii U level disaster. People, this thing's going to sell out on day one. This thing's going to sell out on day one. Go look at Nintendo's direct page. Go look on their direct page and go look at everyone talking about stuff. Go look and tell me if you think that. But hey, man, it's all good. I'm still down to do the debate if you actually want to, or if you want to put some money on it. You know, if you want to put some money on it. But if you think it's gonna sell 13 million or less, I'm down to do the. Let's put down the money right now. And how much you want to put down? I got you. Let me know. Let me know. So let me know, cool guy. I got you, brother. But I don't think you're gonna go that far. But let me know the price that you want to put down on Wii U level or less, and I'll drop any price right now that you want to put down. Shout outs to Cybertoast with the $5 dono. Says the aftershocks of the direct was definitely being felt out there. I was watching some other videos, saw yours. Saw a lot out there. Yeah, thank you, Cybertoast, for the $5. Rescue Squad with the 12 months as well. What's up, Rescue Squad? Scarlet Vixen with the $22.22 is what blows my mind is the amount of misinformation going around. $90 games, physical games not containing game, physical games costing $10 more. Provides a source for fact checks. They still spread information. Yeah, that's where the cool goy and that's where other people are making up some stuff in terms of this. So I want to do this video or this stream so I can kind of go over all the information, because like I said, I waited before I said anything in terms of it. But yeah, most of all the Nintendo's first party games, and even like Cyberpunk, apparently Cyberpunk, from what I understand, is on a 64 gigabyte cartridge. So there are going to be games that are completely on cartridge. It's going to be up to the developer. Developers can opt to do a game card key if they want to do like basically a digital card in a box or digital only, or they can opt to put the game, obviously they have bigger cart sizes, but the games are expensive. The carts that Nintendo uses are expensive as heck. They're fast, they're way faster than the Switch 1. They load way quicker. They're fast, but they're expensive as hell. And I think that's the situation, that along with inflation and potentially tariffs, that are causing the prices to be really high here. This is $89 games, not 90, 80 for some games, 70 for some games. So the thing that I don't like though is the Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. That's like 70 for Breath of the Wild, the new edition of Breath of the Wild. But if you have the game already, you can just download an update or whatever for $10. It's a $10 upgrade. So if you already have the game, you don't have to pay $70 or $80. You don't have to do that. You can just download the $10 update or whatever. But if you don't have the game and you want the Nintendo Switch 2 cartridge, the actual cartridge of it that's fully on there, those are expensive. DK is 70. Like Bravely Default is 40. Street Fighter is 60. So it's a variety of prices. Some people are trying to say that it's all 80, all 90. That's not the case. So that's at least what we've got here. I think it was for Target. So yeah. Let's see here. Do you think if I qualify for all Switch 2 requirements, I will get one? I mean, maybe, Lucas. We got to see how much they have and what the stock is. Shout outs to Scarlet Vixen. So I appreciate that. So yeah, it's definitely a little bit is on Nintendo as well in terms of explaining things, but it's kind of hard to explain things at a Nintendo Direct, because Nintendo Directs are not the best place, because you have different pricing structures for different parts of the world. So like that is a difficult thing to do you know, to do it at a Nintendo, like do pricing structure at Nintendo Directs. Like, I don't think they did that with the Switch 1. I don't remember them doing that with Switch 1, outside of just the price of the system. You know, just the price of the system. They didn't say price of games or anything like that. They didn't give us international prices. I think it went up after pre-orders went live, it went up, but they didn't do that with Switch 1 either. So he says, yeah, so it's all good. No, I'm not talking to you about anything else, cool boy. Unless, like I said, I need you to drop an amount. I need you to drop an amount. You said Wii U level. I need you to drop an amount for us to bet. I'm not arguing with you all day. If you think it's greedy and all that, I agree with you. So I'm not here to argue with you on price of the games or whatever the case is. I don't really care. You know what I'm saying? Like, like that doesn't matter to me what you think of the price of the games. I need you to, like I said, I need you to talk about the Wii U levels of disaster. You said, I don't need, if you're going to come to my stream and act all pompous and brash, I need you to drop some money. I'm not debating you back and forth tonight because you don't come to my stream regularly. You're a troll. So if you want attention, I need you to drop the amount that you want to do. Otherwise, I'm gonna just time you out for the rest of the night, man. Like, so you're not doing this on my stream, brother. Like, I've been up all day and I don't mind talking to you if it's going to be legit. But if you're coming here just to troll or to be dumb, I need you to drop the amount that you want to drop to talk about the Wii U levels. If not, I need you to just kick a rock, or I need you to just leave, brother. All right? Thanks, man. I appreciate you. But I'm not arguing with you back and forth all night. We ain't doing this like we did last time. I don't mind discussing. I think $80 is too much for price, but I'm not arguing back and forth with you all night. So drop the amount that you want to drop for the debate or for the bet on the Switch price, the Switch 2 sales. You said Wii U levels a disaster. Okay, that means 13 million. So I need you to drop the amount that you want to drop, or I need you to be quiet. All right, man? For real. Thank you, though. I appreciate you coming out to the stream. 50, drop 50 right now. Drop 50 right now on Streamlabs. I'm gonna put it up for you. Drop 50 right now, and then we'll see after the first however many, we'll see if it passes up or not. If it doesn't pass it up in at least 2 years or so, 2 years, then I'll drop. It'll pass it up before that, but let's just say 2 years, just so we're all sure on everything. So it's got to pass 13 million in at least 2 years. So I'm gonna put the Streamlabs link. I need you to drop that 50, and I need you to do it within the next 5 minutes. All right, or we're done. We're done here. I ain't arguing with you all night. All right, let me move on to other people. Sean Kramer says, "Do I sleep?" No, I do not sleep. So go ahead and drop that 50 on there. I need the full price up front for you. You're a weirdo. You be coming every single month, 3 months or not. So I need you to do that, because you're a hater, man. You don't play Nintendo games. You don't worry about that. Like, you're not here to actually discuss that. Once again, I agree that the prices are too high, but you're not here to actually discuss it or debate it normally. You were saying it's gonna fail into all this beforehand. So you're a hater. So if you want attention, you're gonna have to pay up. You are gonna have to pay up. So drop the 50, or otherwise I'm ignoring you the rest of the night. That's the last time I talked to you too, though. All right, let's go. So Direct was fire, says Adroxis. No sleep, baby. No sleep. Let's see here. Let's see. Someone told me Mario Kart is 10 at least. Mario Kart is not $10. That is not true. Mario Kart is the most expensive game. Mario Kart is $80. It is $80 on there, and I'm guessing it's a combination of inflation and cart price. The cart that they use on there, I don't know how many gigabytes it is, but whatever it is, it's an expensive as hell Switch physical cart. But the digital prices are also the same thing too. So Nintendo has this rule that digital and physicals got to be around the same price or something like that. So I don't know if they're going to give you a little discount or not on digital compared to physical, but my guess would be the carts. What's up? Is upgrade charges scummy as hell, especially with hiding behind additional content. I was sold until I saw that. What are your thoughts on that? I don't really think an upgrade charge is scummy. I didn't say that it was scummy with the PS5, so I'm not going to say that it's scummy here. If they're adding content to it, and if they want to do an upgrade charge, and they can do an upgrade charge, some games are going to be free that don't have any extra content to it. Those games are free, like ARMS and Mario Kart and no, not Mario Kart, sorry, ARMS and other games and Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So those are free. If you want a free update, those are free. If you want the ones that have the extra content, you pay 10. I already said that with PS5. I didn't think it was scummy with PS5. Some games got free updates on PS5. Some games got paid updates. I didn't really care. I'm like, if you want the paid update, do the paid update. If you want the free update, then get the free update, you know? So yeah. Let's see here. But even with tariffs, why are digital games? Once again, they have a rule, Chocobo, where it's like they don't like to price the games digital and physical. They don't price the games digital cheaper than the games physical. They keep it the same price. In Japan, Mario Kart is priced okay, 889 yen, $60. Digital is 9,990 yen for physical, about 66. So maybe import Japan copy cheaper, but I don't have my hopes up. I think that there's potential region locking with certain stuff like that. So we'll have to wait and see on that. Shout outs to Dean with the $1 dono as well. Also, 888 job with the 21 months. This is, hi OJ, what a direct. My mind is still mush. It was only missing the big new JRPG for me, but otherwise it was aces. Yeah, it was more powerful than I thought. I don't mind the price tag. By the way, OJ NSO and expansion pack gives you the Zelda upgrades for free. Well, yes, if you have NSO expansion pack, which also that wasn't talked about. They talked about that later in the developer direct. If you have NSO expansion pack, you get all of the updates for free. Not for free, you got to pay for the expansion pack. But if you pay for the expansion pack, you get all the updates for Zelda and all that. You get all those included. So that's something that's also people were missed out on. But yeah, it's that. I think Nintendo was anticipating tariffs, so they priced it at $450, but didn't anticipate Vietnam being tariffed today. I think they probably anticipated any tariffs. If they anticipated tariffs coming in from China, why wouldn't they anticipate tariffs coming in from somewhere else, like Vietnam? Like that doesn't make any sense. When you're a business like that, you anticipate tariffs from any foreign country where you do cheap labor or importing business. So Nintendo definitely thought about Vietnam tariffs. If one place got tariffed, the first thing any business will be like, okay, well, what if this other place gets tariffed? So it's not like they're like, oh, China got tariffed out, we're good if we're in Vietnam. You know, they just said, hey, look, there's other places we don't know, but they were definitely factoring in many different places. They were definitely factored in potential tariffs on other places. There's no way that they went into it not thinking that, especially if China got hit with the tariff, you know? You see Bravely Default's only 40. Yes, I did see that, but once again, the problem with Bravely Default is that it's game cards. It's a game key card. It's not an actual physical game. That's great that it's 40. It's a 3DS game, and that's awesome that it's 40, but it's not an actual real physical game. Same thing with Street Fighter. Great that I guess it's not 80. 80's too much. It's 60, but it's a game key card. It's not an actual physical copy of the game. Those are the two games that I know that are like that, which it's just a digital only game. It's a digital only game. So yeah. Good point. I think I'm going mostly digital this gen. I mean, it's all of Nintendo's games are physical so far, and like I said, I think Cyberpunk is also a physical game as well. But yeah, that 64 gigabyte cartridge or 64 gigabyte cartridges or 30 plus 32 gigabyte fast, like, you know, fast reading, whatever technology Nintendo used for those cartridges, which is clearly way better than Switch 1, I think is causing the prices to go up as well. I think that's also what's causing the prices to go up, because Switch 1 cartridges are expensive. Like a 32 gigabyte cartridge on Switch 1 is still really pricey. The large majority of developers don't do 32 gigabyte cartridges on Switch 1. I was hoping that Nintendo would have a solution for the cartridge speeds to get them cheaper and better, but there is no solution. It's just expensive. There's no solution. It's just expensive. It's just, these games are bigger. They gotta load faster. It's just, they're just more expensive, just plain and simple. This Bravely Default shouldn't have been a key card at the same price it was as a 3DS game. I mean, once again, I don't know how big the size of the game is. I mean, the 3DS game was much cheaper. I think they put that on a 2 gigabyte cart for the 3DS game. So the production cost of that is a lot cheaper, considering how much maybe they would have had to pay for a physical cart on the Nintendo Switch. I don't know what the price would be in terms of that. I wish those Switch 2 game cases didn't look so ugly, especially with the game key cards notes at the bottom. Yeah, I'm not going to be buying the game key. Like, I'm not going to be buying any of the Nintendo Switch 2 editions. I already have all those games on Switch 1, so if you think the box art is ugly, you can simply, you know, make your own box art, or you can just use the box art from the Switch 1, and it'll be fine for the most part. So yeah, we going broke. I said I need you to drop 50. I said I need you to drop 50, and I gave you 5 minutes. I gave you 5 minutes to do so. So I'm gonna give you, and you have not done it in 5 minutes yet. I'm not here to argue with you all night. Like I said, you said 13 million. You didn't even say what up, OJ. The first thing you came in and you busted in here and said I don't got to debate you and acting all brash. You ain't gonna do that in my. Like I said, where's the 50? I need you to drop the 50, or I'm seriously I'm gonna time you out for 24 right now. So I'm gonna need that in the next minute or so. You're gonna drop that 50. Otherwise, I'm not arguing with you. We ain't arguing with you all night, bro. Like, don't come in here saying 13 million. I told you so, and acting all like that. Like I said, you're a troll. Trolls don't get the benefits of normal viewers, of being able to debate and discuss. You don't get that. You don't get that privilege. Because you're here to try to. Like I said, you're here to try to like show me up. So if you're here to try to show me up, I'm definitely not gonna let that happen. That ain't happening. So I need you to drop that 50 right now. Otherwise, like I said, you got a minute, bro. It's 7:05. I need you to drop it at 7:06. If not, you just getting timed out for 24. So you're not doing that? Exactly. Fudge out of my stream, broke ass. 24 hours. You ain't complaining because the prices are too high. You ain't complaining because you ain't got nothing. You ain't got no money. Probably can't even afford nothing. Get out of here, bro. Nothing wrong with not having it, but when this dude coming in here talking like that, nah, fam. Like I said, I agree. I agree with the prices being too high, but I ain't gonna let you come in here and try to show me up, talking about, I told you 13 million, it's Wii U level disaster. Bro, you need to come here and debate then. Don't be coming here and saying that. Put some money on it then. Said, I'm not doing that. You said 50, right? And you didn't even drop the 50. Fudge out of here. See you later. Let's see. Roadhouse with the $5 says console and bundle are fine for me, but these game prices, bro, I gotta make a name for myself. I know the game prices are high, man. Donkey Kong 70. The Mario Kart game is actually, if you buy the bundle, it's cheaper. It's $30 off if you buy the bundle. So I'm probably gonna go with the bundle. Man, but like physical games are something like, I like physical games, bro. So it's like not having physical games. Like, I want to still support physical, but I don't want to buy, like, you know, I mean, I don't need physical Breath of the Wild Nintendo Switch 2. Like, I don't need physical of that. I don't need Kirby in the... I already have it physical, so I don't need, like, a whole cartridge physical. I mean, it's great if you can have it all on cartridge, but I'm not paying that for the physical cartridge when I already have the physical cartridge, so I don't really need all that. And once again, you don't gotta pay $80 for the Nintendo Switch 2 version. What you can do is you can buy the Switch 1 version, or you can already have the Switch 1 version, and then you can get an update on there if you want it, like the upgrade for 10. So yeah. Let's see here. We know why. Let's see here. We know. I mean, listen, guys. Listen. There's tariffs. There's inflation. There's all sorts of things that are factored in. Like I said, although I was a little bit less hard on the tariffs. But yeah, man. So yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I'm buying. I don't even know what the price of that welcome tour game is, but that should have been a pack-in as well. Once again, Nick, I agree. That should have been a pack-in. You don't gotta buy it though if you don't want. I mean, it don't look like it's anything that crazy, but if it's introducing you to the Switch system itself, that should just be a pack-in game in there, you know. But 1-2 Switch wasn't even a pack-in, so they didn't even pack that in. My reaction to Donkey Kong was great. The game is really hyped and surprised. Yes, it's really good. You definitely sniffed the W, so you can think you can crash in and say Switch 2 gonna fail. But bye Joey Ferris probably thinking the same way too. Yeah, like it ain't gonna, like I said, he's thinking of like people on Twitter. People on Twitter are always gonna say whatever. People on Twitter. When the actual pre-orders go live and when the actual sales come out, we'll see what it is. A lot of people that are just saying stuff because of game prices. I'm telling you right now, people are gonna buy it. I'm telling you right now, people are going to buy it. People are gonna buy this system. Trust me. With all the third-party support and the first-party games like Mario Kart and Donkey Kong, expensive, but people are definitely gonna cop it. Watch. Like you don't even gotta what's it called? You don't even gotta take my word for it. Let's wait till the not even gotta wait. Let's wait till the end of the year. Wait till the end of the year. We'll wait till holiday and we'll see where the sales are at and what happens during the holiday and how it sells in Japan and the opening debut sales. We'll see about that. Like that doesn't mean like if you have complaints, you can have complaints and still be upset and still buy the system. Like that's what's gonna happen. So let's see. Shout outs to Ben's 20 with the $20. Shout outs, man. Let's go.
Shout out to OJ for putting out content.
Yes, sir.
Staying awake for a long while.
I'm up.
Streaming live.
I am.
And putting out content.
I'm here.
Literally gonna drop almost 1K day one. Need 2 Pro controls to play Worlds with the white. Also looking forward to new Joy-Con colors.
Yeah, it's gonna be pricey, man. Everything's just expensive as heck, man. It's just expensive. I don't know if Nintendo's gonna replace the voucher system, but everything's just too pricey. You know what I'm saying? Like everything's just so pricey, which makes me think, bro, I wonder what the PS5 and the next Xbox are gonna be. I wonder what the PS5 or the PS6 is gonna be. The PS5 Pro is $699, right? It's $699. So you've got to price the PS6 above the PS5 Pro, right, or near it. So it's probably going to be an $800 system. So and games are probably going to be 80 or more. Games are probably going to be 80 or more, man. So it is going to be wild, dude. It's going to be wild because, like I said, everything's going up. Like everything is going up. It's more than I even thought inflation and all that would go. So yeah. Shout out to Ben. Thank you for the $20, man. GTA is going to be a minimum of $100. I mean, I'd be surprised if GTA was like $80. GTA is definitely going to be at least, I think, $100 for like just the standard edition. But I mean, listen, it might be they might surprise us. They might roll with the $70 version of GTA. They might roll with the $70 version of GTA and surprise all of us. You never know. Shout outs though, guys. Appreciate that. I don't know if I'll be able to do all the extra, like the combo breaks and like the extra hour and all that. I just decided I was going to come on and talk about some stuff for a bit. But I do hit you with the combo breaker and the overclock. I'll do my best to stay awake and and stay up and do as much as I can overall.
Overclock buster!
Nintendo, man. I appreciate you. You're so right, bro. It's like how people I saw how people bought the Wii U. Why did the Wii U not sell? Tell me why did the Wii U why did the Wii U not sell? Go ahead and let me know why the Wii U. Go ahead and let me know. Since you know more than me, let me know. Why did the Wii U not sell? Tell me exactly the reason why the Wii U didn't sell. Go ahead. Let me know. Drop it. Yeah, go ahead. You got my attention. I think you're that other guy, but go ahead. You got my attention. Go ahead and let me know why did the Wii U not sell? because poor marketing and confusing name. Okay. Nintendo Switch 2, does it have a confusing name? No. Nintendo Switch 2, does it have poor marketing? No. Everybody knows about it. It's just expensive. So it doesn't even have the problems that you're talking about in terms of things. People think the games look great. People think the system's good. They just think it's too expensive for the games. That's really it. The price is okay, but they just think it's too expensive for the games. But there's no bad marketing. Everyone knows what it is. It's a Switch 2. It's a much better Switch. No, it has other issues. Completely anti-consumer. That's not why the Wii U failed. The Wii U wasn't completely anti-consumer. So once again, you didn't mention. Why are you mentioning the Wii U if it didn't have the same issues? Anti-consumer was not one of the things with the Wii U. That was not anything in terms of the Wii U. It wasn't anti-consumer. So so yeah, that's not it, man. You said bad marketing and confusing name. That had nothing to do with being anti-consumer. You can't even stick to your own trolling. Come on, man. No, let's go. Let's see. So tired of people basically going something I don't like as anti-consumer. Listen, I know that the prices are a bit high, but once again, I think it's because of the physical cartridges. Once again, but they have this rule with the digital and physical has to be this near the same or pretty almost the same. You know. They got the term anti-consumer is totally misused at times. It is, but once again, the Wii U didn't fail because it was anti-consumer. So I don't understand why he's trying to equate the two. He's saying the Wii U failed, the Wii U failed. Okay, why the Wii U failed? The Wii U failed because this and this. It's not the same as what this would fail for. So what's the correlation? There is none. You know what I'm saying? Did the Wii U have Mario Kart at launch? Did the Wii U have a brand new big Donkey Kong the next month? Did the Wii U have games like Cyberpunk and Final Fantasy VII Remake? Did the Wii U have all that? No, it had a few crusty games, third-party games at launch, and then didn't get anything after that. Switch 2 is going to consistently get games. Did the Wii U have an actual Miyazaki From Software game? Did it have a game like Elden Ring? No, it didn't have all that. So come on, man, stop the cap. It had Nintendo Land and it had New Super Mario Bros. At launch. I mean, come on now. Let's just be real. Let's see. Thanks for agreeing on the prices and telling how it is and not being a shill. I don't think it's being a shill if you think the prices are fine. It's literally opinion. It's opinion. I personally think that they're a bit too high, but someone can think differently. Listen, everybody has their own opinion on what it is or not. For example, let me give you guys a perfect example. Shout out to my man Shokyo. He's on Twitter saying, "Oh my gosh, the prices! How can you? It has no business being $80." He bought Concord for $40. Concord has no business being $40, and he felt that it was perfectly fine for him to go spend his own money on Concord. I didn't say, "Wow, oh my God, what are you doing? It has no business being $40. You're a shill for buying." I didn't say that. It's like, it's his money. If he thinks it's worth $40, then it's worth $40. I don't think Concord's worth $40. It has no business being $40, but I'm not going to tell other people that think that it's worth it, that they're shills or that they're this or that they're that for buying it. That's what you think. I mean, some people bought Cyberpunk for 60 or 70, right? Or some people bought certain games. I'm not going to tell them that they're shills for thinking that the price, it's their own opinion. It's subjective on pricing. Pricing is going to be subjective. If you think the game is worth that, then you think the game is worth that. Like, there's going to be a lot of people who think that Mario Kart World is worth $80, and they're going to play a bazillion hours into it. I think the price is a bit too much for me personally, but at the same time, I don't think somebody else is bad if they think that it's an opinion. It's not a fact. It's an opinion. Like I said, there's probably many games that you guys have bought that I don't think is worth the price. I don't care if it's MSRP or not. I never play by MSRP. Just because something is lower than MSRP doesn't mean I think it's a good price. Something can be $50. It doesn't mean I think it's worth $50. That's my own opinion, you know? So that's just like I said, but that's just me. That's just my own opinion. I look at it logically. I don't look at it as some type of base level. A lot of people look at it as some type of base level. If the game is 60, that means it's worth 60 or it's fine. No, it's not. I might not think it's worth 60. I'm good. I don't got to buy it for that price. I'll buy it for cheaper. A game might be worth, cost 70. Oh, I don't think it's worth that price. Some people think it's worth it, right? So it's up to everyone's own opinion. I just personally think that 80 is too much. I don't think it's me not being a shill. It's just me being real and being honest with my own opinion. And that's what I always do on here. It's not about defending or one side or another. It's about giving you guys my honest opinion on the stuff. So yeah, man. This is cope, bro. It's expensive, nothing more, nothing less. What is it, cope? You seem like the only thing that's coping is your parents when they had you, bro. Like, if you can't understand what I just said, I get it. It goes over your head. But there's no cope about what I said. I literally just said that I think the price is a bit too high. Is a bit too high. So I don't know what am I coping with. You got like one more stupid comment in you, bro. I've been up since like 1 a.m. I'm not dealing with really stupid people today. Like I literally said the price is too high. I gave my opinion on what I think when it comes to pricing. What is cope? There is nothing. I said it's too high. I literally agreed. So what's the problem? So what is the issue? What are you crying about in my chat? What are you saying is cope? Like, I ain't trying to deal with people that are dumb. And I think you're the goy guy. You're the same guy. I think you're the same guy. But like, I'm gonna give you one more stupid comment, bro. Like, if you're here to have a good conversation with me, that's cool. But if you're not willing to listen to my opinion, I can respect your opinion. But if you don't want to respect mine and say that it's this and that, then I'm just gonna boot you out, man. You ain't gotta be here. Like, I don't really feel like dealing with it because, like I said, I've been up since like 2 a.m. I don't mind talking to you guys, but I ain't gonna have nobody coming here trying to bullshit me on my own stream, man. Come on, I ain't feeling like doing it tonight. If you want to have a cool conversation, we can, but don't come with the BS, all right, man? It's the last warning, all right? I ain't dealing with it. All right, moving on. Let's see here. People treat it as they need to consume video games 24/7. Video games are a necessity. Like I said, I think it's too high. Once again, you know, I think it's a little bit too high for me at least. 70 would have been better, but I mean, I'm gonna cop it. I'm gonna get the bundle, so you know, I'll save on it. I'll get it for. I'm essentially getting it for 30. So yeah. So that's my opinion. Like I said, it ain't about shilling or this and that or it ain't about. This is my honest opinion on how I feel. Once again, I saw people on Twitter that literally buy games all the time for 70 or buy games for 40 or 50, and I'm like, that's not worth that price. And then they're gonna look at me like, why would you think that? That's my opinion. Exactly, it's your opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's an opinion. I'm not gonna think any less of somebody else if they, for example, the PS5 Pro. Did I call anybody shills or stupid or dumb when I said, hey, look, like, I don't like the fact that there, you know, there's no disk drive and like the cost? I didn't call a single person on Twitter or a single person who said that the price was okay. I didn't call a single person a shill for saying that they're okay with the PS5 Pro price. I said, that's fine. It's your opinion. It's okay. If you think it's worth it, then it's worth it. If it offers what you want or what you think is good, it's worth it. I didn't call a single person a shill. I didn't call a single person a shill in my comment section either that felt that it was worth it. That felt when I said it's a scam with the disk drive, not having the disk drive included. I didn't say the price was necessarily a scam. I didn't like the fact that there was the disk drive issue, you know? So yeah. Weren't some games that launched for Switch 1 priced higher like Breath of the Wild and Smash later on? No. Breath of the Wild was always $60. Smash was always $60. They didn't change unless I mean, sometimes you get a little discount. But yeah, you're gonna have to ration out the games, bro. Open world Mario Kart multiplayer and chat is insane. Imagine it just wanted to not race and free roam for hours. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be worth it for people that like the games, but for people that aren't into Nintendo as much, it's not. Like, I saw like a lot of hardcore PlayStation guys saying it's not worth it. Well, yeah, I mean, because they like you know, PlayStation games, but for Nintendo fans, like people that like Nintendo 3DS, people that like Switch, people that like Nintendo first party, it's going to be worth it eventually. There's going to be a game that comes out, Nintendo's going to drop some dope games, and people are going to like it. Like I said, they got already how many first party games for this year? I mean, they already got a number of big first party games between Hyrule Warriors in addition to the Donkey Kong game and Mario Kart World. So there's going to be more too. It's not done. There's more coming. So plus the Nintendo Switch 2 editions of games. Metroid Prime is going to be lit too. Obviously Pokemon. So like there's going to be a lot of games. So people are going to buy it when they feel like buying it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Let's see. If I was a hater, I wouldn't be here. Okay, but I need you to listen to me, man. I need you to listen to me, bro. Like I said, you're entitled to your opinion. But when I say stuff like, yo, man, it's cool, like you can have your opinion, or if I say stuff like, oh man, I think it's too pricey too, but you know, my opinion is people are allowed to have their opinions in terms of subjective on pricing. And when you say that's cope, that's BS, bro. So that sounds like a hater, because I literally agree with you. When you said it's too expensive, I said, oh yeah, I think it's too expensive too. But I do think that it's subjective. That's factually correct. Pricing is there. It's not a fact in terms of it's too much or not. That is opinion. Like I said, that's not my opinion. That is fact. That is subjective on pricing. That's not an opinion. That is fact. Pricing is subjective. It is going to be different for every person. For you, for me, for other people. If you're freaking LeBron James, I don't think he thinks it's that expensive because he makes a ton of money. So everybody has different tiers in terms of what they feel is subjective or not on pricing. I think it's a bit too much, but you got to be able to respect my opinion when I say that it's subjective, because that is that is actually a fact, not even subjectively. It's a fact that it's subjective. It is. Once again, There are some people who think Concord was worth 40. Shout out to my man Shokyo, who was complaining about the Mario Kart stuff. I don't think Concord was worth 40. He dropped 40 on that. I don't think that game was worth 40. That game was supposed to be free. In my opinion, that game's a free-to-play game. That game wasn't even worth 40. I'm not dropping 40 on that game. Mario Kart looks $40 better than Concord would ever look, or that games that people drop $30 on would ever look. I would like Mario Kart probably more. To me, Mario Kart would probably be worth it more at 80 than certain games at 20 or 30. But what I'm trying to tell you is that it's subjective for every person. I still think it's too high, but it's subjective. That's it. That's all I said. And you're like, it's cope. No, it's not, bro. It's the truth. Let's see here. He says LeBron is very frugal. LOL, it's smart to be that way. Yeah, he's very frugal, and so unless you know he spends $1 million plus on his body every single year. So yeah, he plays that frugal. And do you see the clothes that he wears? He's not as frugal as he let people like lead on to believe. His outfits are in the thousands of dollars that he wears. His shoes and his hats and his stuff that he wears. His car collection, his house, his rooms that he has. I mean, yes, he's probably not as flashy as some other guys, but the dude spends a lot of money. He definitely. If you saw his monthly expenses, you'd probably faint at his monthly expenses. It's probably really high. Like I said, he makes a lot, but he spends a lot too. He likes to give the impression that he's just a normal dude, but he's really not, you know. Because nobody spends $1 million+ dollars. Well, some people do, but most people don't spend $1 million on their body every single year. OJ, but when we talk about inflation, games at 70 are cheaper than ever. Am I wrong, dude? Games at 70 are cheaper than ever. I don't think 70 is cheaper than ever because that was the highest price that we got beforehand, you know? So, yeah. Let's see here. Cybertoast with the $10 dono. Let's go.
Yeah, it's overpriced, but I'm still buying it. The enjoyment my family and I will get makes it worth it to me.
Yeah.
Prices are what they are. In the end, it's up to each of us to decide if the cost is really worth it or not.
That's all I said. And like the dude's like, oh, that's cope. I'm like, nah, it's up to you, bro. I agree. Once again, price is too high. I think it would have been better at 70. If they would have just done 70, I think people would have been, because when people see 80, especially for Nintendo Switch 1 games, like on the Switch 2 cartridge, that's too much. In my opinion, they could have definitely been lower. They didn't have to be that. But once again, I want to see the technology in those. I want to know the teardown of those Switch cartridges. I think that's going to be very interesting to see. The teardown of those, like how expensive are those cartridges? Because I do think that, yes, inflation's a part of it, Cybertaurus, but I think that those cartridges are really expensive. Like those fast read speed cartridges to be able to run like at SSD speeds or near low level. That is, I think, one of the big issues that we're having here are those damn cartridges, you know? Because I think those things are expensive. Based off of what Nintendo explained, I think those are one of the main culprits is those, because once again, a 32GB cartridge on the Switch is still expensive. Like most developers did not use a 32GB cartridge. They rather use an 8GB or a 4GB and there's a lot of developers that didn't even want to use a freaking 16GB cartridge. They will make you download part of the game. They'll use an 8GB cartridge and then make you download part of the game on the eShop. So there's a lot of devs that didn't even want to use a freaking 16GB cartridge. So a lot of these games are probably going to be 32GB, right? 32GB and up, or 20 something gigabytes. So if a game is above, like let's say a game is like 20GB, well, there is no 20 something gigabyte cartridge. You've got to use a 32GB cartridge. You see what I'm saying? So that's probably going to be the same thing with these Switch 2 cartridges. There's going to be like an 8 or like a 4, an 8, you know, a 16, a 32. It's going to go in those, you know, those things. So if you have a 27GB game, there is no 27GB cartridge. You just got to pay for the 32GB cartridge. If you have a 17GB game, there is no 17GB cartridge. You've got to either get it down below 16GB or you got to pay for the next one up, which is 32. And I think that's the biggest issue that they're dealing with right now. Those cartridges must be really expensive. Let's see. Aren't some carts not going to have all the games in them? Just 2. Street Fighter, but those games aren't 70 or 80. Street Fighter is 60, and Bravely Default, that's 40. So the 2 games that don't actually have a cart are not even in the pricing the pricing things that people are complaining about. They don't like the fact that it's all digital, but no, the ones that don't have an actual cart, those ones aren't 70 or 80 or 90 or whatever. There is no 90, but those ones aren't higher price. No. I wonder if Nintendo will address the price hikes, considering this is the most expensive base game of all time. I don't think they will. I don't think they will. Yeah, I think the 90 is coming from other currencies. It's 80 with Nintendo Switch, but the 90 is coming from other currencies, Yoshi Boomer. Atomic Toaster with the Dark Knight says these Nintendo Switch games are like 6 eggs. To be honest, bro, in terms of eggs, I think it's like for 18 you can get for like, I think $12 or $13 where I'm at. So yeah. So yeah. CD Projekt Red said they'll release a full CD Projekt Red says they're gonna release a full 64GB cartridge, which they did at 32GB for The Witcher 3. So they did do Witcher 3 32GB cartridge. So I don't know if Nintendo helped subsidize, but that cart, is that gonna be like $100? No, it's not. It's probably, that's gonna be an expensive game. Because it's a full 64GB cart. Fast loading cart. That's gonna be, I want to see the price for that. I don't think they said the price yet. Did they say the price? I don't think they did. Seriously though, throwing a dart here, but based on the store's technology we utilize at work, those carts might be around 32 to 45 bucks per. Oof. Yeah, that's oof. 32 to 45 bucks, and then like you got to look at it from like the mass manufacturing, right? Like if you're gonna do like, what's the order? 100,000 of them, 200,000 of them. Yeah, definitely not cheap. That's way more expensive than like a DVD or like a Blu-ray. That's like so much more expensive. You know, Nintendo don't got to justify to anyone. Just look at the economy compared to Mario Kart 64 to Worlds. Big difference. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna they're not gonna explain, hey guys, we're charging you $10 more because of the carts, and they're not gonna, I mean, they didn't do that with Tears of the Kingdom. I think all they said, it was like, what they say with Tears of the Kingdom? Oh, well, this game took longer to make. They didn't really give any real explanation. So yeah, I don't think they're gonna explain. They're not gonna explain nothing. If you want to buy it, you'll buy it. If you don't want to buy it, you won't buy it. I mean, that's really what it's gonna come down to. I want to see though if Nintendo better lock down their system. Otherwise, people are gonna freaking. I mean, they pirated the heck out of it. It don't even matter if it's what the price are. People will pirate the heck out of anything. So yeah. Nick 93 with the $5 says, I didn't think I would see Nintendo getting ratioed on Twitter today.
I think I would see Nintendo getting ratioed on Twitter today, lol. They were getting flamed so bad on the welcome tour post, they deleted it. Tears of Joy $80 games and Joy-Cons $90 is a lot.
Yeah,
they
man.
lost some goodwill today for sure.
Yeah.
Console looks good though.
Absolutely. I agree with you. I didn't see the welcome tour they were getting. I didn't see all that. I don't really, I mean, I follow Nintendo, but I don't really comment on all their posts. Like, I don't, for some reason, their posts don't pop up on my page. People got to tag me. So I didn't see that, and I didn't see that they deleted it or anything like that. I didn't see all that. But yeah, that's definitely not good. But I mean, Twitter is one of the craziest places, man. Twitter, I've seen complete differences on Twitter compared to their channels, or Twitter compared to other places. So Twitter is going to always be pretty freaking ruthless. It is going to be ruthless. But yeah, I think that should have been, I mean, that's not the game to be upset about, is the welcome tour. I mean, who cares? Like, it's just a bunch of mini games or whatever. So that's not the game to be upset about. I can see people being more upset about Mario Kart and all that. But yeah, that's just me. That's just my opinion, obviously. People will feel differently. The Portis is with the $2 says Switch 2 $450 better than $600 Steam Deck. Now, I mean, yeah, I bought a $600 Steam Deck. Like with tax, mine was $600. You know, so I bought a $600 Steam Deck. I'm gonna sell my Steam Deck so I can fund my Switch 2 Odyssey. Jump Mom with the $10 says one Tripster best going to hiding. Now that FF7 remake was announced for Switch 2, I'm really glad to see the Room Factory Guardians of Azuma have a Switch 2 edition upgrade. DK Bonanza. I know you'd be hyped about DK Bonanza, Jumpmon. That was awesome. Yeah, but they definitely lost some goodwill with consumers, because the prices are just really high compared to Switch 1. People already thought Switch 1 was already pricey. Now you're having even higher prices. So that's all. Whenever you raise prices, you're gonna lose goodwill, like with the consumer base. Anytime you raise prices, you're always gonna lose goodwill. You raise the price of a Nintendo Switch to $50 more with the OLED, people went crazy on Nintendo for doing that. People went nuts on Nintendo for doing that on Twitter. People on Twitter, to the point to where I think Nintendo actually responded in some way. I think Furukawa said, "Oh, it's not like we didn't charge way more and it's like less," or something like. I know they said something about like the Switch OLED. So anytime you raise the price, it doesn't matter how justified or not that it is. Not saying that this is. People are gonna be crazy about it. So yeah. that doesn't surprise me too much. Although I didn't see that they got ratioed and had to be deleted. They had to delete us. I didn't know they delete us. That's crazy. Would you say that Monolith Soft Intelligent Systems fans should be patient for the next release? Yeah, it's coming, Epsy. You'll see it. All this Mario Kart discussion definitely reminds me of the 3D Mario Collection debacle. Even though many people, include RGT, think that they're still think you are still defending the game. I don't, Brute. What are you talking about? No, what did I? Whatever. I'm good. Thank you, Minato. I disagree. The Tekken Switch 2 is better than the Steam Deck at 600. What? What do you disagree with? What did I say that? What did I say differently though? Hold up. I have to honestly wonder what most people on Twitter are hate clicking, hoping for like 3 cents. A lot of people on Twitter though, I don't like, from what I saw, like the hardcore PlayStation guys, like I don't know what this system could have done to get them to be excited for it. Like I don't know what else it could have done. What were you expecting? Like a lot of these guys don't actually even like Nintendo first party games and saying, "Oh, I'm not sold on." Oh, it's like, what were you looking for? You like PlayStation, or you like you know what I'm saying? Like they went nuts over Astrobot. Like I saw PO and guys go nuts over Astrobot. Dude, Donkey Kong looks a million times better than Astrobot. Not a million times better. Donkey Kong looks significantly more innovative and better than Astrobot. Let's just be real. You can burrow underground at any point. You can pick up chunks of the earth. The scope and scale is way more massive. And that game did not impress them, but they were thrilled with the little bot running around. So, I mean, it's just like, some of these people, what I'm trying to say is that some of these people are just talking or just yapping just to yap. It didn't matter what they showed. But like literally Donkey Kong looked significantly better than Astrobot. And what you can do in physics and everything. Like I said, you can pick up chunks of the ground, rip it off, and start destroying the land. You can burrow underground almost at any point, and there's whole explorations and worlds. The animations and everything look insane. The game looks like it runs and everything looks like you can't play the frame rate situation anymore, right? Looks like it's gonna run perfect. It looks like it's 60 frames plus. So it's like some of these people are just talking. They're just talking just to talk. There really ain't anything that was gonna get them to be excited for it, unless it was dirt cheap. And I mean, I don't know, like unless it was dirt cheap, or maybe there was like a big Zelda game that they can get excited about. I don't know. I'm not really sure. But it's probably more of the prices that got them, like, just like if Nintendo's your secondary system, it's probably more of the prices that got you kind of turned away from it. So I understand from that standpoint, but there really wasn't anything that was going to get them excited for it, unless it was like $300 and like everything was like $50 for games, or just like cheap. It was just like cheap as hell. Or like I said, they had some type of like a massive Legend of Zelda game at the launch that's like different from, like, they don't like Mario or DK or Mario Kart or whatever the case is. So there wasn't really anything that was gonna change their opinion, you know. My wife just stuck her head in and literally said, "Are you guys at it again? Do any of you sleep?" I hope I'm not gonna get you in trouble, Cyber Taurus. If prices were subjective, you would get to register and pay whatever you want. Price is objective. The consumer decides the worth to them, but pricing is objective. You literally contradicted yourself, and you have no idea what you're talking about. You legitimately don't know what you're talking about. So I'm going to read your comment, and I'm going to break it down. Don't worry. I'm going to break this comment down because it was interesting. If pricing were subjective, yes, pricing is subjective. You can objectively look at price and give your opinion on that, but at the end of the day, it is subjective. It is not objective how you look at it originally in terms of other people's opinions. That is subjective. You could objectively say, well, I think this game offers X, Y, and Z, so you can give an objective opinion on pricing. But overall, when someone says this is worth it or not, that is subjective, no matter what price anything is. Now, once again, you can give an objective take on their opinion, but it's still subjective no matter what. Saying you can register and pay whatever you want, that has literally nothing to do if something's subjective or objective. That has nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it at all. So you thinking something's subjective or not doesn't affect the price of something. That's ridiculous. We're talking about opinions that people have about anything. So subjective or objective has nothing to do with what price. Car prices are subjective. You can be objective about them, like I was, but they're subjective. Some people think that a Ferrari is worth it. Other people think that a Ferrari is not worth it. Some people think that the Mercedes-Benz is worth it. Some people think that it's not. You can objectively argue why it is or isn't. Do you understand, Nemo? you can objectively argue one way or another and give your opinion on it. Like, objectively, I think this, but is at the end of the day, it's an opinion and it is subjective based on the person. So come on, man. Come on now. Don't do that. Don't do that. Come on now. You know good and well. You know good and well what you said, what you just typed right now was wrong, bro. Don't try. You're trying to sit there and tell me that subjective. You can put the price at whatever you want. That's nothing to do with something being subjective or not. That doesn't mean you get to say whatever price that you want. That's irrelevant. Not close to even being relevant at all. Deportes is selling with the $2. It says Ridge Racer at launch for the win. Ridge Racer. Yo, shout outs, man. I appreciate that. Madar Marshall's personally, I will stick to my OG plan. I'm not buying Switch 2 at launch. I'm enjoying my Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition and Switch 1 games until I see the new Monolith Soft game. Is that all you play is Monolith Soft? Do you not like anything else outside of Monolith Soft? So yeah. No, I'm doing good. I know you're not doing good. I'm doing good, SwiftTube. I know you're not really happy with Switch 2. I'm happy with it because it's exactly what I said it was going to be. It was going to be a considerably better Nintendo Switch 1, which it is. I said that it was going to be, it was going to have a bunch of first-party games and third-party games. It does. And I said they're going to drop a lot of cool stuff, and like, in terms of things. And it did. So it's everything that I thought it was going to be, overall. So it's not, okay. What is it? What do you think that they should have done to make it a better reveal for you? What would be the option to go with? Because you were saying that they shouldn't even make a Switch 2 right now. They should just leave the Switch 1 and not get third parties and have, you know, the games that they have. So what would be the option if they were going to launch it? What would be the option? Like, what would be the route that you would have taken with the Switch 2? We need to know. Give me the Cliff Notes version of it. What would be like, what would you have done in terms, like the Cliff Notes version of it? What would you have done? What GameCube game were you most hyped for to see on NSO? Skies of Arcadia. If they do Skies of Arcadia, that would be nice. Nick 93 with the dollar donut says disappointed from FromSoft game. Guess it's a multiplayer game, kind of like Night Rain game. Would prefer to single player. Get the console, but I feel like a weird buying games that cost more than PS5 games. I mean, I don't think you have to buy games that cost. Like, what games are you gonna get? Are you gonna what games are you gonna pick up that's gonna cost more than that? So let me know, like, what games out of the launch lineup are you gonna actually buy the Nintendo Switch 2 versions of those games? Are you really gonna buy the Nintendo? Like, you're gonna buy those? So what games will be costing more than PS5 games that you're buying? Shout outs to Nick. Thank you for the dollar dono. Let's see. For one, I would have had a presentation that didn't freeze. Audio issues. Okay. And presenters that know how to adjust to start. I should go on. Okay, that has nothing to do with the system. That has nothing to do with the system. I mean like the actual system itself. The actual system. Like, what would you have done in terms of that? Yeah, Mario Kart. All the big ones I'll get. Oh, you're gonna get Mario Kart, dude? Buy the bundle. Buy the bundle, because if you buy the bundle, it's $50 if you buy the bundle, because the bundle is it's $500. So the system's $450. If you buy the bundle, it's $500. So, but I mean, I don't know about buying all like the Nintendo Switch 2 editions of like, I don't know about that. Like, I would say look for sales or discounts on the Switch 1 games and then just pay the $10 for the upgrade. That's what I would say to do. I wouldn't go out there and buy it for $80. I would just get the Switch 1 versions if you can for cheaper, and then just pay the $10 upgrade, which should be less than the MSRP on those. So I would say do that. The bundle losing a choice. No one's buying Switch 2 without a game. People will definitely buy Switch 2 without a game. There are definitely going to be people that say, I don't want Mario Kart, I'll just buy this, and I'll just play like my Switch 1 games or something like the Enhanced or something. There are definitely going to be people that want it without a game. So yeah, I mean, the Switch 1 didn't come with the game. There was no standard bundle for the Switch 1. Like, that came with the game. Like, it was just the Switch. So, like, literally almost everybody bought the Switch 1 without a game. Do some of y'all even think before you say something? Like, come on now. Let's see here. I will buy that. I don't like Mario Kart. That's what I'm saying. Some people don't like Mario Kart, so they won't buy the bundle. They'll just buy. They'll buy it and they'll buy something else. So they'll buy, you know. So like, but Switch 1 was sold without any game. Like, in terms of like just the standard, there was no game that was sold with it, and people bought it. I got a feeling Mario Kart coming with the season pass and cam sharing was bad. Season pass and cam sharing was bad. I don't recall them talking about. Wait, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, that game, and cam sharing. Which game are you talking about? What season pass? Did they announce that for Mario Kart World? I don't know if they announced that or not. But if you're talking about Mario Kart 8, I'm not sure what you're talking about. DK destroys Astrobot. Well, what I didn't mean to say like the knock on Astrobot. Like Astrobot's a dope game, but I was just saying like some of these PlayStation guys that went nuts over Astrobot and said, "Oh my God, this game looks incredible" and all this. And like obviously DK is significantly more advanced than that game, and they're like, "Oh well, I'm nothing there. I don't like this." But yet they were going ham for Astrobot. It's like, come on. Like, come on. Like, it's a great game. I love Astrobot myself, but I was like, I mean, come on. I didn't say nothing on the page, but I was like, I felt like saying, come on, Mr. Pio. Like, come on, man. Like, so yeah, from game is PvP. Yeah, it's like a PvP, PvE, PV. I don't know. Whatever. I'm not big into FromSoft games, so I don't really care. I'll probably try it out, but I don't really care about FromSoft games like that. But there's Elden Ring, so if you want Elden Ring, it'll be there. Sauce is Sicilian with the $2 as well. Says, oh, Switch 2's camera has been on the whole time. I know, the camera's been on the whole time. I'm happy because I'm getting a brand new Mario Kart. Take the bundle of high performance of Switch 1 games. Yeah. Z-Billish backwards compatibility. Embarrassing tour game. Embarrassing? Okay, tour game. Okay. Admitting pricing during the direct. Furukawa being Weasley peddler, enabling third parties to take physical games away. Yeah, all that seems really weird. Because backwards compatibility, they talked about the backwards compatibility. There's not a Switch 1 jammed into a Switch 2. It's software backwards compatibility. If they would have put a Switch 1 on the Switch 2, the system would have been too big or would have costed even more than it costs right now. So there was no way to do backwards compatibility in a handheld or portable type of device with the size of the Switch 1, like what the Switch 1 is. So they decided to go with kind of like a software hardware hybrid. Most of the games will work. There are some games that don't, but they're working on compatibility for those. But for the most part, the backwards compatibility works on there. All of your games are pretty much going to work. Pretty much all the games are going to work overall. There are some compatibility issues because like they use the Joy-Con, but the backwards compatibility seems fine to me overall, all things considered. Considering, like I said, they couldn't jam a Switch 1 into the Switch 2, so you have to do some type of software / hardware compatibility. Tour game, I agree with you. That should have been a pack-in. I think that's silly that it's not a pack-in. That should have been a pack-in overall, because it's just like mini games and stuff like that. Like, I get it, they probably worked hard on that game, but still, I still think it would have been nice as a pack-in. It would have helped ease the blow. In terms of admitting the pricing during the direct, every single direct, there's different regions. So it's like, do you have the pricing on there? Do you do it in the interviews afterwards? That's always a very interesting thing. But I do think that, yeah, if they had the pricing in there, overall, that would have been better. But I don't know if that solves I don't know if that makes anything better or not when we got the pricing right afterwards. So I'm not sure if that makes it like, oh my God, it would have been way better if the pricing was in the direct or not. I don't think it really matters. We got it right afterwards. So yeah, in terms of enabling third parties to take physical games away, that was already taken away. Physical games, there was a number of games on the Switch 1 that were codes in a box. That it's the same thing here. It's no different. That developers have been able to do non-physical games or codes in a box or fake physicals forever. There's never been a requirement that they have to do a physical game. If you want to do a digital code in a box, you can do that. They did that with Switch 1. If you want to do this new way of thing where they have like a digital game key, you can do that. If you want to just do a digital only game, you can do that. That's been available since the Switch 1. There was no shells for digital only games. So the games that came in a game key, it would have just been a digital only game. It would have just been like the Switch 1. Switch 1 had a number of games that were just digital only, or it was, you have to download half of the game or whatever the case is. So there's really no change from there overall. I mean, I see what you're saying with the Torrid stuff. I agree with you on that one. But the digital game thing, that's already been since Iwata was been around. You've been able, if you want to make a digital only game, you can make a full size digital only game. You don't have to provide a physical. That's not something that Furukawa did. That's been available for forever. Yeah, Yesterday they showed pricing during the Switch 1 presentation that makes Nintendo look very nervous or scared. Yeah, that's what, like I said, I don't think it really matters though at the end of the day because the pricing came right after that. I don't know if it makes them look very nervous or scared. I mean, they did the pricing and they had a bunch of stuff otherwise. People are going to find out the price regardless. So it's like, what, you're scared for what? The presentation has the price. You tell them right afterwards. So then what? People are going to know the price anyway. So like, what are you scared of? You wait 5 seconds to be like scared? That doesn't make any sense. People are going to know the price right afterwards. People are going to talk about the price right afterwards. So you're scared to do it 1 second and then people know about the price the next second. What are you scared for? All you did was delay whatever people were going to know for like 2 seconds. People knew the price right after the direct. That doesn't make any sense. This is why not show up. Maybe because they didn't edit it in time for that. I don't really know, but it doesn't make them look scared because they didn't do the price. They talked about the price right afterwards. People are going to know the price anyway. Pre-orders are going to go up the next month. Like, that doesn't change anything. Like, scared of what? Are people, what are you scared of? People know the price whether it's in the direct or not. They knew right afterwards, so it doesn't really matter. So I don't get it. What were they scared of? They're scared. They're arrogant. I can see arrogant, sure, but I don't see how they're scared of what. What were they scared of? If it's in the direct, people say, "Oh my God, the price is whatever." In the direct, if it's outside of the direct, people say, "Oh my God, the price is there." It doesn't really matter whether it's there or not. You're gonna know the price right afterwards, so it's silly. They already faced backlash online. What are you talking about? They already, if they were worried about taking backlash, so like I said, it delays it by 5 seconds. People already know the price right now. The backlash, it doesn't make the backlash any more or less whether it's inside the direct or it's right afterwards. The backlash it's still there, and people weren't necessarily upset about the price of the system. 450 wasn't the problem; it was the games. So Nintendo didn't price the games at the Nintendo Switch 1 Direct. They priced just the system. People aren't upset with the price of the system. 450 seems okay for most people. The problem was the price of the games, not the price of the system. So what point are you making? Like, you're not making any point here. So let's see here. I think you misinterpreted being logical means scared. Japanese businessmen aren't the emotional compared to the West. Yeah. Let's see here. Not bitching. It's about the price. It's about pointing out the tariffs don't impact that. As greed pigs, what they said, tariffs don't impact that. There's difference of opinion on tariffs in terms of what that impacts or what that doesn't. I know that there's some tariffs that, like, for example, on physical game cards, like when you import them, that would definitely be levied on the consumer or not, depending on how the company does it. So it really depends. I forgot what association, like the ESA or somebody, said that the tariff plan that our president has would actually significantly impact the gaming industry and the prices of things. So there is information or people out there that say differently with that. But once again, I mean, everyone thinks that they know tariffs. I'm not sitting here that I'm an expert on them. But there's literally a million different opinions on that. So there's people that think that it is. There's people that think that it isn't. There are people that have wrote reports that it is. Like I said, I think it was the ESA. I forgot who, but somebody wrote a report saying that it was. So yeah. Let's see. Tariffs definitely impact physical hardware, not digital. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, digital, it's like whatever. But once again, Nintendo has that thing where they're not going to price physical and digital differently. They're going to, which digital should always be cheaper because there's no physical, but they've always priced physical and digital the exact same. So, unfortunately, you should pay less, but they've never priced digital games. Like, nobody prices digital games cheaper than the physical. Like, when you buy like Returnal, for example, or if you buy any game, it's always going to be like on PS5 for the most part. Like at day one, it's going to be 70 on their store. It's going to be 70 physical, you know, for both. Even though you should get a discount digital, but you don't. That's just how it is. It's just been like that. Let's see here. So yeah, the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. I forgot to take off the timer there. Yeah, digital should be cheaper, but companies don't do that. They were gonna buy it either way. Showing the price during the live wouldn't have changed anything. Delayed the reaction is by. That's what I'm saying. Like, what does it matter? So if it's in there or not, like, it doesn't matter. Like, you delay it for what? That sounds like a little child. Like, you made a mess and all of a sudden, I don't know what you did. You covered it with a blanket and your parents coming to go and pick up the blanket. You already know what the situation it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? If it's a problem, it's gonna be a problem. You putting a blanket over it isn't gonna stop it. You know, so that makes no sense in there and saying, oh, well, they did it. They're scared because they would have been. Doesn't matter. The price came out right afterwards, so it don't really matter. So yeah. So yeah, exactly. It's just to delay the timing. You don't know what you're talking about. That's literally ridiculous. It's childish. What are you talking about? First you went from scared, now you're saying childish. Bro, I'm good with you tonight, man. I'm good. That's not true. Once again, that's not true. Everyone will see the price. If you're interested in the system, you'll see the price. You are going to see the price. Everyone will see. If you're interested in it, you will see the price. That's ridiculous. You will see the price if you're interested in it. Anyway, but whatever, it's moving on. It's like people are only gonna see it once, they're never gonna know. Then you're not interested in the system. If you're interested in the system, you're gonna be like, okay, well, what's the price? And you're gonna look it up and they're gonna say, oh wow, here's the price. That's what any normal person would do. You're not gonna be like, oh well, I saw it once, I guess I'm not gonna look at it all now until I pre-order. That's the dumbest thing that I've ever heard. Nobody does that. Nobody does that. You're making up things that people don't even do. If you're interested, you'll look up the price. If you're not interested, then you won't. Let's see here. There'll be a direct in 2 weeks. So yeah. Let's see. Once again, their opinion on what they think about the direct doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything. It's still the same result. Whether it was in there or afterwards, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Legitimately, they can put it in there. They can be upset at the end. They would have still felt the same way. Oh, that was a great direct until the end. Oh, that was a great direct until afterwards that I learned about it. It doesn't matter. It literally delays it by 1 minute. You just made my point for me. There you go. It doesn't really matter. The price was because there's years of big box threatened to stop selling the games in the stores. Digital was cheaper. That's what's starting to go away. Maybe. So many satisfied customers. All these guys have switches. They're about Switch 2. I don't know about some of these people in terms of it. Like I said, I'm just willing. Once again, once the system actually comes out and the games actually come out and like the system goes on sale, I'm willing to bet that a lot of these people are gonna buy the system anyway, because they're going to be excited to see the games and the reviews and all that type of stuff anyway. Once again, you can complain about something, but still be excited to buy it, which we've seen with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. We've seen with literally everything. People will be upset and whatever, and then they'll probably buy it, you know? So I saw people that complained about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and then bought it, you know? So a lot of these guys will probably buy it.
My wife said, do the talking message thing. And then said to tell you, he's not in trouble. I just like to flip him crap. And she also said, remember this $5 was from her and not me.
Oh, yo, shout outs to Mrs. Cyber Taurus. Yo, let's go. I didn't want to get Mr. Cyber in trouble. So it's all good, man. Let's go. And in terms of satisfied customers or not, let me tell you something right now. Switch 1 had quite possibly the highest level of people whining and complaining and all of that when it comes down to it. The Switch 1 had so many people whining and complaining about every single little aspect about the system, about frame rate, about chat, about resolution, about this, about that. So I mean, like Switch 1, however many satisfied people there were, Matt, you wouldn't be able to tell online with the amount of people that complained about every single aspect about the Nintendo Switch 1, yet still bought it or bought games or bought whatever. So I'm willing to bet people are going to be excited to play it because you can get a 120 frames per second, or 4K system with certain games, hybrid system that's going to actually play games built for it and not be like the Steam Deck thingy. So I'm willing to bet that it's actually going to do really well. I'm willing to bet, like I said, somebody said the guy said Wii U level. Nah, it ain't gonna be Wii U level. It's gonna sell way better than that. Wait till the pre-orders go live, or wait till, like I said, wait till the end of the year. Holiday will be telling because there's gonna be more Nintendo Directs and there's probably gonna be more stuff. So Yeah, to be honest, I wasn't expecting 120 frames. Even though there was a leak or whatever, I wasn't expecting 4K for them to even talk about it. I wasn't expecting 4K. I wasn't expecting any games to run at 4K. I wasn't expecting them to talk about it. Like, I wasn't expecting any of that. So the fact that that's actually there, like, I don't think there's going to be a lot of games that run at 4K. Like, I don't think Donkey Kong and Mario Kart's going to run at 4K. I'd be surprised if those games do. But I wasn't expecting them to talk about 4K and talk about 120 and talk about HDR and all that type of stuff. So I think that once people actually start seeing that, they're like, oh, okay, it's 450 and you get all that, then obviously right now you just have the sticker shock of the price. Like, the price is expensive for a lot of stuff. That said, thank you for the 20 months. Appreciate that. Let's see here. Does Nintendo get away with it? Moist Critical's mad AF2. He's complained about the Switch 1 and how bad the specs are on that too, if I'm not correct. So they got, listen, the people that complained about how bad the graphics were and all of that, this is what they wanted. People that complained about Switch 1 and the cartridges and how it's not fast and they needed faster loading and all that, that's literally all these people. So they complained about all this. It's been fixed. Enjoy it. These people, I've literally watched videos from these people and seen them talk about how trash frame rates are and all that. Okay, they use way better technology and all of that. It's way better. So they fixed it. So yeah, the UI is not exactly the same. It looks like it's slightly altered on the bottom of it. The icons are definitely not the same. I think it's using the same OS, yes, because that OS is fast, but I'm willing to bet that there are some other things with it that are different. It's definitely like an upgraded version of the OS that they're using. So I don't know. I mean, there's no need to change the OS, like, or the UI, like the OS. The UI, like the fonts and all that, they're different on the bottom. The layout of the system is similar, but the fonts on the bottom of it definitely seem different. It's not the same, or they redrew them, or they changed the UI layout. So yeah. So these people that are sitting there saying I'm upset, literally they gave you exactly what you wanted. You wanted everything to be higher quality. You complained that the Joy-Cons weren't as good as the DualShock, or the DualSense. They gave you that too. You got to pay the higher prices now. That's what you complained about. Oh man. Welcome to the 10th gen. Legitimately, this is what they wanted. They wanted everything to be like, literally, I've seen people complain about how bad frame rates are and everything, and like all that. So they improved all of it. That's what you wanted. No one actually cares about specs. We became good enough to mass market 2 gens ago. I'm telling you, these people that are talking about, they definitely care about specs. We need more info. 4K is good, but is it native or is it upscaled? I mean, they just said they actually wrote the specs out and they said the full 4K resolution. So based on the spec sheet, it is the full 4K, that it supports up to the full 4K resolution. So that's based off of, it supports HDMI 2.1. So that would mean, yes, it would be the full 4K that it supports that. So yeah, based off the spec sheet, DLSS wouldn't be in the resolution spec sheet. It'd be like DLSS, or it'd be like upscale. They'd have to say that, but it said it would be like the native output of the drawing of the pixels, which DLSS, it's not quite the same from my understanding. So yeah. And you don't listen to these obsessive freaks known as the hardcore gamer. I'm just saying. All I can say to them is life is hard. You got to work for your. I'm telling you, bro. I saw a lot of people say that, yeah, they wanted the graphics, they needs to be as good as PS5 and all that. Yeah, that wasn't most people. I agree with what Flipping the Switch was saying. It wasn't like most people. Most people weren't, like with the Switch 1, weren't saying that. But I'm telling you right now, people that own the Switch 1 or that own just the games, if they see something that they like, they're just going to be like, all right, well, I'll just buy that. They're just going to be like, oh, it's too expensive, but I'll buy it. Trust me, it's the same. Like I said, it's the same thing with people like iPhones and stuff like that. If there's something that you like and you think it's good enough, you'll be like, all right, well, I guess I just won't buy X, Y, and Z, and I'll buy this instead, you know? So I think that even to the people that were like not talking about graphics and all that, when they see like, oh, wow, there's a new DK game. Well, I want the DK game. Well, it costs way more than what it was on the Switch, at least. Or it's $10 more, but whatever. You guys know what I mean. Like the Switch costs more, the Switch 2 costs more, than Switch 1. You're gonna be like, oh, well, I gotta add a little bit more. I'll work a little bit more, I'll save a little bit, and then I'll buy it when I get the chance. Or maybe I'll get a gift card they'll do something like that. Like it won't be like how people are online. Like people online, when they don't get what they want, they like throw hissy fits. Some people, not everybody, but like content creators and all that, they'll you create content, so you've got to, or if you're online and you're just angry about things, you'll be angry. Like if you're a hardcore gamer, you'll be angry about things. But I can tell you right now, casuals do not care about that. My brother, I'm going to tell you guys my brother's message right now. Here's my brother's message. He didn't go online and say all this. This is my brother's like one of those casual, completely satisfied with the Switch 1 gamers. This is what he told me right now. And he's, like I said, he's not online yelling about things, or he's not like a hardcore gamer. All he said was this. He just said, yeah, I don't like the price point for the console, but I'm getting it and I'm considering it an investment for the next 10 years. That's what my brother said, bro. He said, I don't like the price. He's frugal, man. He's a little frugal. Like he ain't still bought a PS5 yet. This man said, I'm considering an investment for the next 10 years. So what did I tell you? I'll just shift around some things. Maybe I won't eat out a couple nights, and maybe they'll just do other things to get it. That's just how casual gamers operate. They'll just be like, well, I'll wait for Christmas, or, oh, well, maybe I'll wait for a gift card, or maybe somebody will, I'll sell this and maybe I'll get enough for, like, that's what they're going to do if they really want it. Like I said, that's why Nintendo, the most important thing is the games. Nintendo has to put out the games that get the people excited, because he said that he thinks Donkey Kong looks great. He thinks the games look really cool. He just doesn't like the price of the games. He doesn't like it. Let's see here. I heard the CEO from Samsung say you want new high tech when it comes with the price. You can't expect to pay low prices and get great tech in circumstances. Yeah. Once again, I still think some of the prices are a bit too high, but I agree. The economy is bad and everything's gonna get more expensive. Yeah. Everything's gonna get more expensive. Remember, like what I said with the PS5 Pro, I was not upset about the price. I was upset about the disk drive. I thought the disk drive should have came in there. Like, I don't think the disk drive should have. That was my biggest issue, was the disk drive. I was like, why is the disk drive not in there? Like, I don't like that. And also, it makes physical games even worse. Like, for the collection, they're trying to phase it out by removing the disk drive. That was my issue with it. I didn't have a problem with the price. Was expensive, but other people were crazy with the price. I wasn't crazy with the PS5 Pro price, because if you play PC gaming, you see how expensive graphics cards are, right? The PS5 Pro can do what a high-powered graphics card can do, So I wasn't upset about that. To me, it was the other thing, It was the disk drive. That was the only situation that I thought was a scammy, is the disk drive. So I want to have a disk drive in there, but whatever. Hey man, looking forward to Switch 2. I see why people are upset with game pricing, but I feel like the price of the console isn't surprising. Yeah, if the games were like 60 and 70. And the price was what it was, people wouldn't be upset. It's mainly the game pricing. When they announced DLSS, I knew it would most likely be capable of higher than 60 frames per second. Yeah, I agree. Shout outs to Vice. Thank you for the big $20. Yeah, definitely the DLSS and like the other technology. Like, when I heard that it could potentially be like 120 frames, I was like, whoa, 120? Like, that's crazy. But I didn't know if it would hit the price like that, but I think that there's inflation and other things too. And then, of course, Nintendo just obviously wanted to make a profit or make money off of it. OJ, you should do a Switch 2. You should give away Switch 2s to every member. I'll try if I had that LeBron James money. Yeah, exactly. The thing that I was upset about was just no disk drive. I wasn't upset about the price. I was upset about no disk drive. And that's why I felt like it was a scam. Not that the price was too high. Because I think that what you get for PS5 Pro, now that I have one, because my PS5, I couldn't capture HDMI footage. So I was like, whatever, I'll just get this. It's definitely really good. It's high quality. You can play games at the performance mode at 60 frames. Like, it's good. There's a lot of good value in it. And like I said, if you wanted to buy an equivalent graphics card on PC, you're going to be paying a lot of money. Wait till the wars start. Holiest rosy outlook to me in the era of history. All right, like I said, we'll see, man. I think once we see the games, I think a lot of people's minds will, like, once we actually get the games and the review score starts coming out and people start playing it and you get the hands-on, like, tomorrow's gonna be hands-on. I think people are gonna be like, all right, these games actually look really dope, I started saving for Switch 2 since it was the first mention last year. I have the funds and some more. Yeah. Don't forget to, hit the like button, guys. I missed your super chat. Did I miss your super chat? What was your super chat? OJ, I said that. OJ, you should give away Switch 2s to every member. Yeah, like I said, if I had the LeBron James cash, I would. Let's see here. Console price is fine. If the game's price is 60 to 70, we wouldn't have a problem. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. There you go. So you agree with me, Alucard. But now Mario Kart is 80, which could be a set of precedent. Exactly. Yeah, I agree. And listen, it's not a good precedent to set. I'll say that right now. I think if developers see that, I mean, Mario Kart has a lot of buying power though. Like a lot of developers, there's no other developers in the industry outside of Take-Two who can actually charge that. Like, or what game can charge that? Grand Theft Auto. That's about the only Grand Theft Auto, and maybe the next Witcher, Grand Theft Auto. I don't even know what developers can actually charge that price and get like and actually get away with it, like without and like sell copies. I'm not even sure who can. Like I said, Grand Theft Auto, Mario Kart, and there's really, like I said, maybe The Witcher 4, but there's not many. Maybe the next big massive Elder Scrolls game. I mean, I think they charge 70 for Avowed, right? So I mean, if Avowed was 70, I mean Elder Scrolls, you know. So there's that. Yeah, maybe a new Zelda. I mean, Zelda did 70. If the new Zelda looked like freaking incredible, maybe. But I think, you know, obviously Tears of the Kingdom didn't do as well as Breath of the Wild sales-wise. So there's also a factor into that. Baldur's Gate. So yeah. You don't want the extra frames. Okay. I don't think you can turn off extra frames unless you can only do like if the developer wants performance mode or not. Like you can make a game go like less frame rate, but I don't think you can't turn off like how the system performs. That doesn't make sense. Like you can't enable or disable the power of a system. That's not. I mean, it's not a PC. A PC you can do that. Like so, if you want to be able to control frames and control PC is probably your option, or like a Steam Deck. Shout out to Cybertorch with the $5.
FF7 Rebirth didn't come to PS4 due to hardware limitations. Do you think Square will attempt to make a Switch 2 version, or just leave it at FF7 Remake?
Cybertorch FF7 Remake or FF7 Rebirth didn't come to PS4 due to hardware limitations. Do you think Square will attempt to make a Switch 2 version or just leave it FF7? Well, there's already a rumor that FF7 Rebirth is also, Nate the Hate says that FF7 Rebirth is also coming to Switch 2, but FF7 FF16's not. So I think that they're just gonna port the game. They're gonna port the game from the PlayStation 5. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna take the game and they're gonna port it. So yeah, they'll port it. They'll port it over. I mean, it won't look as pretty as the PS5 version of the game, but they'll just probably port it. And it'll probably be 30 frames. You know, probably be like a 30 frames per second. You know, DLSS 900p or something like that, right? Like, so that's what I'm guessing that they're gonna do with the game. So yeah. Let's see. It'll be on it. I don't know if Final Fantasy will be on there, like one of those like digital cards. I don't think so. Bravely Default doesn't have the clout that Final Fantasy does. So I mean, I don't think Final Fantasy will. I mean, but it could. I mean, it could. They might not think that it can sell really well, or it might. The file size might just be too big. They don't want to pay for the card. You know. So yeah. 60 FPS is good enough unless I'm playing a racer and it 240 frames. The Switch can't support 240 frames, so yeah, you don't got to worry about that. Switch can't support that. And most games aren't going to run at 120 frames per second. Most games are probably just going to run at 60 or run below or run at 30. So I think a lot of games are going to be 30 or 60 frames. Like Switch 1 games running on Switch 2, like yeah, maybe those games might hit 120, or like indie games, yeah, like maybe those games will hit 120. But the large majority of games probably won't run at 120 and probably won't run anywhere near 4K, like native or anything like that. So keep that in mind, guys. Like, yeah, it can support it, but that doesn't mean it's going to run at it. So, yeah. Did they mention battery life? Kind of. They did in the spec sheet. So it's kind of a wide range, anywhere from 2 to 6.5 hours for the Switch 2. So they mentioned it in the spec sheet breakdown with all the other information. John explained the keycard thing is way better than Nintendo. It's better than the digital codes because you can resell the game keycards. Okay, so that's definitely a positive thing with that, is that you can resell the game. You know what? And I gotta adjust my video now because I thought that you can't resell them. Or I said that I don't know in my video, so I definitely gotta adjust that. There's 2 edits that I gotta do. I gotta do an edit for the game keycards, and then I gotta do an edit for damn it, I forgot what else I gotta do an edit for. Anyway, yeah. Um, Square Enix also said something like more like Final Fantasy VII Remake project coming later to Switch 2. Square Enix also said something like things Final Fantasy VII Remake project. Okay. So like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and then Final Fantasy VII, the third game. Yeah. Word range. Vegeta says word range remote study from the direct, which I wasn't expecting. Went from really excited to looking up Nintendo side-eyed. Not cool to see, to be honest. Yeah, I get that, man. I get that. 100%. 100%. Let's see. Let's see. Did they mention? Let's see here. That was the standard OG Switch. Not terrible. The standard OG Switch was a little bit better. On the lower end, it was about the maximum end was about 5 hours, 5 or 6 hours, but the low end was 3 hours. That was the low end, you know. So it's about. I think that if you obviously turn the brightness down and maybe you don't enable HDR, maybe I think you'll be able to turn the options on and off for like HDR and stuff. So if you remove some of the really nice things in the game, the really nice, or if it's running at not 120 hertz, if it's running at 60, or whatever, I think that's gonna help out. Or if you lower the resolution or whatever, right? Like that's gonna help the battery life be better. But yeah, if you're running the most high-powered games, like if you're running Mario Kart World or whatever, if you're running Donkey Kong, I'm pretty sure that's gonna probably cook your battery at around 2 to 3 hours if you run it at full bore 1000%. So yeah. There was a lot of misinformation going around regarding the game cards and prices. I appreciate you taking the time to report accurate information. Yeah. Like, I didn't want to rush out and make a reactionary, these price. Like, I didn't want to do all that because a lot of people were saying stuff. Once again, the whole game, the digital game card keys, the fact that you can resell those, that makes it significantly better than a digital code in a box. So that is a better option overall than if a developer does not want to do a physical version, or if they don't want to pay for one. Before, it would be no physical option at all, or it'd be a digital, obviously just digital only in the store, or it would be a digital code in a box. This seems to be a little bit better because, once again, you have some sort of ownership over it. Apparently, if you can resell it, if John is right on that, I didn't see where they said that, but if you guys have the link, not to John's video, but if you have the link to the source for that, let me know. So yeah. When I checked the price for MK World, it said it's MSRP 80 million. Is suggested, would that change or no? Yeah, that's suggested. So if a retailer wants to do like a $5 discount or a $10 discount, they can, but they might be losing money on that unit, or they might not be making anything on it. But yeah, if they wanted to do a cheaper price, they could. But yeah, it's manufacturer suggested of retail. Doesn't mean you have to, but yeah, like you can maybe see some like $5 off or maybe $10 off. There might be some discounts on like Mario Kart World, like if you want to buy it physical, like, but don't expect anything major. So yeah, I guess the back compat isn't fully hardware. Either saw MVG talk about it. It's a hybrid between hardware and software. So it's a hybrid between hardware and software. So at least that's what Nintendo says. We have the same thing during Switch 1. Game carts themselves having the game Switch tax, they used to call it. It was this will blow over. Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, it's sticker shock, But I do think that it's fair for people to be like, oh, I don't like the price. I think that's fair. This is, like I said, it's not a cope. Like some people are trying to say. Like, I agree that the prices are a bit high for things. Like, it's tough to always talk objectively, like 100%, like or fair-wise, because listen, guys, I get free games, I can write off games that I don't get free. I can write them off, like, so I have to be objective in how I look at it. But yeah, I mean, I get free codes from all, like, I didn't pay for Starfield. They gave me Starfield. I didn't pay for, if I don't want to pay for Xbox games, I didn't pay for Assassin's Creed. That's a $70 game. I didn't pay for that, but I still have to mention it and bring it up and say, hey, look, that's this and that. In order to be objective, because everybody, like, it's not just me. It's not just, like I said, I'm not just thinking about me. I'm thinking about the consumers. I'm thinking about you guys as well. You guys obviously don't do what I do, right? So yeah. Mustafa, thank you for the subscription. Appreciate that. So yeah. But yeah, obviously there's going to be people that, like, the sticker shock is there. Like, when $70 games happen with PS5, the sticker shock was there. And then after a little bit, it goes. People that want to buy it, buy. People that don't, they move away from it, So yeah. Did you see the official Sonic pages trying to take a dig at Mario Kart? Well, Sega should really relax. They ain't him no more anymore. I didn't see that. What'd they have to say? I want to hear about that. Tears of the Kingdom at 70 was a bit of a robbery. I mean, once again, it's subjective. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I think the game was worth it. I played it. I bought the physical edition of the game. I thought it was worth it for that because that gives me an experience that no other game developer gives me. There's nobody else that makes a game like Tears of the Kingdom. It's a very unique game. So for me, it was worth it, but for other people, it's not going to be worth it. It's not going to be worth it. So you can wait. You can get it on discount if you can, or you can just not buy it or whatever, you know? So yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Black. I appreciate that. As long as you disclose. Also, I've seen you buy games and game codes, and you get game codes for it. You're better than most in that regard. Yeah, I usually buy most of the games. Like, I'll buy most of the games, that even if I get a review code for it. Like, I got a review code. They gave me one for Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth. I have Remake and Rebirth physical. I actually bought a special edition. They sent me one, but I bought one too. So yeah, like Unicorn Overlord, I bought Unicorn Overlord. They sent me a they sent me a Switch copy. They sent me a physical, a collector's edition of it. They sent me all sorts of stuff with it. SMT5, they sent me a digital copy of SMT5. Or no, they didn't. I was gonna buy it anyway. SMT5, the original. They sent me a nice full package. I bought SMT5. Do I still have it? It's up there. Yeah, it's up there. So, oh no, it's right over there. There you go. So I still buy it. If I want to support the game, you know, if it's a game that I wasn't gonna buy anyway, then I probably won't. Like, I don't know if I was gonna buy Starfield, so I ain't buying Starfield, you know. But like, a lot of these games I'm gonna buy anyway. So, Yoshi with the $5 says, already got my pre-order secured. Let's go. Where did you pre-order from? Pre-orders start April 9th. How did you get a pre-order already? One of them Australian mom and pop shops. Watch Sonic All Stars Racing Crossroads end up on Switch 2. Yeah, that game's gonna be on Switch 2. It's on Switch 1, so it's probably gonna be on Switch 2. Farming Outrage. Alright, let me see here. It was probably just for a little bit of fun. Let me see. Big day for big day for worldly racing games. Anyway, get ready for the only upcoming kart racer you can play with your friends around the world across your favorite platforms. Sonic Racing Crossworlds. Oh man, bro. Yeah, that was definitely a good one. That was definitely a good one. I don't think it's gonna end well for them though. I don't think it's gonna end well for them. Sonic Crossworlds, it looks good. It looks good for sure. It looks good for sure. But I mean, let's just keep it a buck, bro. The Mario Kart world look way better. Mario Kart world got open worlds, got the tour modes where you out there. They got the free range mode, bro. They got the different outfits and I mean, I think guys like Fidel, guys like that, hardcore Sonic fans might, but like anybody else looking at those two games, you ain't looking at Sonic Racing Crossworlds and then looking at Mario Kart World and be like, oh, okay, you know. But yeah, you know, it's all good. That was pretty funny though. So I think they're just kind of taking a dig because of the name, Mario Kart World, Sonic Racing Crossworlds. But clearly the names were it was a coincidence, you know. So yeah. Sonic Crossworlds Racing, best racing game in history, objectively speaking. Hey, we out here. Some are saying Crossworlds can now overtake Mario Kart. I don't think anybody is legitimately saying that. Nintendo says Nintendo doing the Kinect camera stuff better than Xbox. They stole their whole freaking flow with the word for bar for bar. I mean, I don't know, man. The Kinect was included with it, I guess, at first, but then they decided to rip it out, right? So yeah, MK World looks like $1 million compared to Crossworlds. I ain't trying to be mean, bro. I'm just saying, man. Like, yeah. I mean, Crossworlds looks dope. Don't get me wrong. It looks good, but nah, it don't got the. Nah, it don't got. How many racers online is? How many racers per track is it for Crossworlds, for Sonic Crossworlds? Nah, iToy for PS2 did it first. Yeah, the iToy. Man, I don't really care about no damn cameras though. I'll be honest. Soul Calibur 2 alone is worth buying Nintendo Switch 2. Wait, is GameCube exclusive to Nintendo Switch 2? The NSO, is it exclusive to Switch 2? Doesn't seem MK World has at least 50 drivers though. No, 24. Oh, dang! It is exclusive. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I cried when GameCube was revealed. Shout out to Yoshi. Nintendo doesn't shove a bunch of microtransactions in their games. They tend to have their games polished so they aren't cyberpunking at launch. $7 is manageable for me because I have a job. Well, it's $80 for Mario Kart if you're not buying the bundle. And it's $80 for certain if you're buying the Nintendo Switch 2 versions of games. But yeah, like Donkey Kong is $70, and most of the new games are probably going to be $70. But yeah, I don't know, like the Nintendo Switch 2 editions of those games, to me, should have been a bit lower. Probably should have been. I mean, at the 70 already was pushing it. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit of the ease on that. Like, I don't know why some of those had to be 80. Like, Breath of the Wild is 70, which is already, once again, that game's older. I don't think it should be 70 for that. Tears of the Kingdom is 80, so once again, I guess. But like, I don't know. You can pay for the upgrade pass if you want. You can pay for the upgrade pass if you're not trying to. But like I said, the sticker shock of the actual physical cartridge being out there and being the price is the problem. Whereas, yeah, if you have the game already, or if you buy the physical game, or if you buy it for like 30 or 40, if you get a discount on it, like if you bought it for $30, Tears of the Kingdom, you don't gotta pay 80 for Tears of the Kingdom on the Switch too. All you gotta do is pay the 10 for the upgrade. You know. Man, selectable not on the course at once. Oh, I don't know how much the character count's gonna be. I don't know about that. Thank you for the $5 though, Yoshi. I appreciate that. Which is my biggest concern is how secure the system's gonna be. Is it gonna be Yuzu and leaked? That's the thing that I'm concerned with. I don't know. Who's a tech person? What do you? I need to see what John or MVG gotta say, because does this system, does it seem secure? I mean, I don't know. Those those Express XD cards or Express cards scare me. And I don't mean to like actually scare me, but yeah, man, like that's the one thing. I think that's one thing that I might change my mind, bro, on how I feel about stuff. If we start getting that crap again, that's gonna be a problem. I really hope Nintendo lock that down this time, because if that comes up again, we're in trouble. They're in trouble.
Gotta head out. Don't forget to pre-order the Switch 2 tour guide game, guys.
I'm not pre-ordering. I'm not pre-ordering that. Nintendo's gonna give it to me. I'm not pre-ordering. Or Nintendo, I'm gonna ask for a review copy for it. I'm not pre-ordering that. I'm good. I'll pass. Shout out to Zoo. Appreciate you, man. We gotta have a discussion later. We gotta have a discussion on other, because I know it's hard to type how you feel about things. So yeah. Let's see. How is anyone supposed to afford this? Without sounding like a complete douchebag, I would say job. You know, and I'm not trying to sound like I'm being, you know, arrogant or anything, but I would say job. Job would be, and I'm just, like I said, I'm not trying to troll or anything, but I would say job. Have a job. So that would be it. Job. And I would also say be, you know, obviously budgeting would be another thing. So yeah, that's my honest opinion. See, why people still complain about game prices? Like, it varies. Bravely Default is 40, Street Fighter 6 is 60. It's gonna be varied price paid. Which they're not complaining about that. They're complaining more about those games are like digital only. They're game cards. What people are complaining about is the $70 and $80 games, particularly the $80 games. I think that's really that's the real crux of the issue, is just Mario Kart's 80. That's really it. I mean, the Nintendo Switch 2 editions, like Tears of the Kingdom being 80 and all that, like, that's also an issue, but I think it's just 80. If it was 70 or if it was 60, then it would be like the standard what we got on Switch 1, where people complained about it being full price. But I think people are just upset that it's just really just 80. That's it. That's really it. If there was not 80, it would be, some people wouldn't be upset. But people did the same thing with Switch. No, with PS5. When PS5 did 70, people got upset with that too. So yeah. Argentina's enraged. Is he? I saw his thumbnail. His thumbnail said it was hype. So maybe he's upset now later after the fact. Gaming expensive. This is not exactly a revelation. Yeah, it's getting pricier and pricier, but I think it's really not, like I said, it's not about the price, it's about the principle with some of it. Like the principle of the game is old. People think that if a game is old, it shouldn't be full price, which I understand that, completely agree. If it's older, it shouldn't be. I mean, you can charge whatever price you want at the end of the day. You buy, if it's worth it to you, it's worth it to you. But definitely, like, they think that the Tears of the Kingdom shouldn't be, like, the game came out 2 years ago, or like Breath of the Wild, that shouldn't be 70. The game came out a number of years ago. So, and they're not adding any super big, like, story content or anything to the games. Now, they are adding content. Like, you have, like, the sharing of, like, the stuff, and you have, like, the achievements, and you have, like, some of the other stuff that they're adding in, like the Korok Finder thing. So there is some development work done to it outside of just better graphics, you know? But at the same time, still, like, I don't, you know, I think some people are just upset at that. I did think that some people, like I said, they already have the game, so maybe they didn't realize that you don't need to buy the game again. So there's confusion on that front. I think that there are a number of people who think that you actually have to buy the game again for full price, and that you can't just do an upgrade for it. So there's also that too. This bro, it's $90 physical. It's not. Not every game is 90 physical. No, it's not. From what I saw, it's 80 for only Mario Kart, and for like Kirby, and for like a couple of the Nintendo Switch 1 games enhanced. But once again, if you have the, or if you already have the cartridge, you can just pay the 10 for the upgrade. So no, it's not 90. Some games are also 60. Some games are 40. Some games are 70. Donkey Kong 70. So no, they're not all 90. No, at least maybe US. No, European. European maybe 90 European, but US dollars no. Let's see. The 450 price point is interesting, same as the PS5 disc drive version, and Astro. It's no longer a cheaper option. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Let's see here. People need to start getting comfortable with not buying Nintendo games day one. Yeah, it's hard to get discounts on them too. So it's more the hardware itself is secure, since the Switch 1 was hacked with the paperclip, or if the Switch 2 games are easily emulated. Yeah, that's gonna be a problem. Like all of it, Elias. So I'm worried about that. But yeah. I don't necessarily think like with Switch 1, obviously the price was a thing, but Switch OLED sold at $350, and you know, the what's it called? The Xbox Series S is $299. You know, so people are gonna buy what they think like the games are worth it. Like if they think the game is worth it, they're gonna buy it. So that's really what sells at least Nintendo systems at the end of the day. $70 sucks, but it was expected. $80 is just crazy. The fact that they're charging for digital instruction manuals is absolutely insane. I don't know what that means. A digital instruction manual. They're charging for. I don't know what that means. You mean like just a digital game? Yeah, digital games are going to be priced the same as physical games. So I mean, that's just, it's been like that since digital games became a thing. With physical games, they're not going to charge like a lot less for a digital game for the most part. Most games are going to be the same price. Which just goes into the biggest worry about losing physical. Company decides the price and they control the market, and the sales physical, we lose it all in the end. I mean, it's definitely fading, but from what we're seeing right now, I mean, like the fact that Nintendo actually took the time to make Nintendo Switch 2 physical versions of the games. I mean, they didn't have to do that. They could have just said, if you want the Switch 2 version, just buy the Switch 1 game and upgrade it. You know what I'm saying? They could have done that, but they actually took the time to make Switch 2 physical games. So they could have just not done it. They didn't have to make physicals of all those games. But yeah, it seems like they're still trying to support physical. They're still trying. $10 really breaking you guys? Show with the Uber Eats or something. I mean, yeah, it's more of a precedent. It's not that $10 is breaking them or not, because clearly it's not. Like I said, people spend all sorts of stuff, money on all sorts of stuff. But yeah, it's not. It's just that it's the principle for some people. It's the precedent that it could set that people are worried about. But no, obviously, most of the people that are worried that like Mario Kart are probably still gonna buy the game. But no, I see I see both sides. I see what Daryl Kelly's saying too, you know. Your stamina though, I'm good. I didn't work out today. I needed to work out today. I didn't work out today. I didn't eat much either. I ate some organic black beans and for dinner. What did I have? Organic chili. It was good. I just want to know how how they can justify $80 price tag when their development costs are known to be low. They make a profit on their hardware too. I don't know where you're hearing that. Development costs are known to be low. Nintendo never states their development costs. I don't recall ever a time where Nintendo's actually stated how much they've spent on a game developing it. So I don't know if it's known to be low. So I don't know about that. In terms of development costs, like Tears of the Kingdom, is that a low developed game? I don't think so. I think that game was very expensive to develop. I think a game like Mario Kart is probably really expensive to develop. I think a game like Donkey Kong is really expensive to develop. So I don't think so with that. In terms of, let's see here, and they make a profit on their hardware. I don't know if they're making a profit on their hardware. I mean, maybe it's a slight profit, but I don't know if they are. I mean, I think you're going off of past systems. Yeah, like the DS, which is really low powered and all of that. Yeah, and like, or like 480p games. But now you're moving up to like 4K, or you're moving up to, you know, DLSS or whatever the case is. So these are all technologies that cost way more to make games
I've
for
heard the cries
than
of
before.
many people today complaining
yeah.
about the price of the games all across the world. I feel you all on this. That's why I'm here if needed.
Yo, shout outs, man. I appreciate that. So yeah, I don't know, Chart. I don't know if the same development costs. I mean, Nintendo did talk about that. They said, hey, look, development costs are going up. Our time developing games are going up. So I don't know if it's as low as it was before in the past. I don't think so. Not with this system, at least. But that's just, like I said, my opinion based off of what they've said, you know. It's unfortunate because some of the misinformation coming from the industry professionals like Tom Henderson, who said it was $90. I think he's talking about Europe. Europe can be that. So yeah. You're stepping in for dealing with the masses. I was here this morning. We got 3 hours of sleep. Hey man, we out here, bro. We out here. Read my message when you get to finish. Okay, what's your message? Sorry, Great Wife. Sorry that I missed your message. Let me read it through again. So yeah, I mean, listen, guys. Nick says, oh, compared to PlayStation games. Dude, I have no idea. Like, Sony sometimes tells us how much their games cost. They don't. Is Mario Kart World, did it cost more or less than Astro Bot, or more or less than Returnal, or more or less than Ratchet and Clank? I don't know, dude. Like, it could have not. I'm guessing Mario Kart World took a long time to develop. I mean, it's an open world racing game with 24 people and all sorts of crazy stuff that happens, running at 60 frames per second with all sorts of cool modes and different stuff that's happening. That's not a cheap game or an easy game to develop. I can guarantee you that right now. It's really not. So I don't know what the prices are. So I can't sit there and say that it is. But I don't think it's cheap to make these games. Like, I don't think it's cheap to make Donkey Kong and to make Mario Kart and to make. I don't think it's cheap, especially with those cartridges. I definitely don't think those cartridges are cheap. So if you're talking about like the price of things, if anything with development costs, those cartridges are also not cheap because they're high capacity, fast speed reading cards now. They're significantly upgraded over the Switch 1. They have like SSD like, not that they're as fast as all the SSDs, but they have like SSD like speeds on the loading. That's why you have to use express SD cards now too. You can't use standard SD cards. They're too slow. If you want to play Switch 2 games, you got to use the much faster express SD cards. So the whole technology's gotten a bump. The development, that's going to cost you way more to develop than before. Switch 1 technology is really old at this point. So yeah, it was cheaper then, or even like the Wii U, or even like the 3DS, but it's way more expensive now. Like I said, I don't know the prices though. I don't know the prices. So yeah. Let me see. Oh, your Dono message. Oh, okay. Shouts to the Great Wall. Thank you for the dollars. Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom Switch 2 upgrade included in the NSO expansion pass. Yes, I've already stated that. Those are included in the NSO expansion pass. So let's go ahead and say that again. The NSO expansion pass you get those. You just get those, you know? So if you have the NSO expansion pass, you get all of the upgrades included with the NSO expansion pass. So there is that as well, you know? But yeah, it's pricey, man. I agree, man. It's pricey. Nintendo profits are weak, though. Nintendo profits are weak. Profits with what? Nintendo's profits have been really good for this generation. They've made more money than I think all their previous gens combined, almost, or pretty much. But so yeah. Right, so price increases. I think development cost increases, so yeah, price increases. So yeah, to balance that out, to keep getting profits. So okay, that's what you're talking about. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, development cost goes up, price goes up, so then they charge more. It's, you know, that's just, but I think some people think that it's too much, like with Mario Kart being 80. I mean, you jump from $20 up, right? That's a little bit too much. Like, maybe you can justify at $10, but $20 more for a lot of people, that's like, no, I'm good on that. Or just buy the bundle, right? Is it worth it to sell PS5 and just have PC and Switch 2? Not if you like Sony's first party games, or not if you like if you want to make sure that you get like maybe the best version of a third party game. We don't know how Switch 2 versions, if they're even gonna get some of the games, or even how they're gonna run compared to other ones. So if you're into third party games, I would say no, because we gotta wait and see. But if you're okay with what it offers once they start showing off the games and you see them running and all that, then I'd say, yeah, PC and Switch is fine. But I would say hold off, because there are first party games that are coming out, you know, for PS5 that you might be interested in, like Ghost of Yotei, for example. That's a PS5 game. So I would say not right now, but yeah. The carts seem like N64 carts way back, expensive. Yeah, they actually kind of seem like that way, bro. To be honest, it reminds me of that. It reminds me of the N64 cartridge pricing, bro. I'm betting Yakuza 0 will run fairly well on Switch 2. That's a PS4 game or PS3 game, if I'm not. I think it's a PS4 game, right? So yeah, it looks like the PS4 version, or like a, you know. So yeah, it should be fine. Yeah, I still don't know what you're saying. Try for instructions. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what that means. Genki's a funny guy on Twitter, already putting there that Switch 2 can't run Rebirth at FF16 or Monster Hunter Wilds. Well, he's already stated that before, so we'll see what happens. But it looks like FF7 Rebirth is coming, so it's going to be. I think his quote was, "It's going to explode. The Switch will explode. It's going to overheat and explode." So I don't know. It can run Cyberpunk, you know, but I guess it can't run FF7 Rebirth. It's just too much. Cyberpunk's not, but FF7 Rebirth is just FF7 Rebirth is just too much for it, you know. Shout out to the Atomic Toaster, thank you for the $1.99 donation. Also, Christian Meworld says, what's the list of extra Switch 2 editions and Switch 1 games? Extra Switch 2 editions of Switch 1 games? It's just 4 games, or it's just a few games. It's just the same games that you saw in the Direct. Super Christian Meworld. It's just Metroid. It's just Metroid Prime. It's just Kirby, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, and Super Mario, the Jamboree, Super Mario Party, the Jamboree game. That's all it is. But there'll probably be more coming in the future. Shout outs though. Appreciate you guys. $800. What's 800? I don't know what you're talking about. It's 800. The Switch 2, it's 450 and it's 500. So I don't know where you got 800 from. I think right now you might. I think you need to take a deep breath. Take a deep breath, man. Take a deep breath. Just breathe in. Woosah. Breathe in. Let's see. To be honest, Cyberpunk did run on last gen. The last gen versions were bad overall. I honestly think they said that they couldn't get Final Fantasy VII Rebirth or Final Fantasy Rebirth running on PS4. I don't know. Do you actually believe them that was the case? Do you actually believe them that was actually the case, or did they feel that it would be better to have Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on PS5 only to help sell PS5s as a PS5 exclusive, and the deal that they have? I don't know. You know, I don't know 100%. They did say that they had to stop working on it because it couldn't do this or that. But apparently, like I said, the Switch 2 is clearly stronger than the PS4. Like, I don't think it's any. There's no question now at this point that the Switch is stronger than the PS4. So even if it's fine, you can say fine, it doesn't run on PS4. Clearly, the Switch 2 is stronger than PS4, based off of what we're seeing. Clearly, like, I don't think it's really. Base PS4 didn't have 4K. It didn't have all that. You know what I'm saying? And even the games like Knack and all that definitely did not run like at what we saw, and didn't look as good as what the Switch 2 games were. So it's doing reverse calculations on their financials. The development cost for Tears of the Kingdom was 80 million. I don't think so. Nintendo Forecast did the calculations, and they said Breath of the Wild was 100 million or so. So I don't know about that. They're charging more than PS5 games, while the value of their games subjectively, they'll cut price out normies. Yeah, I don't know if you can reverse calculations of Tears of the Kingdom and say that it's 80 million. Like, there's no way to actually gauge that. Breath of the Wild apparently was 100 million. We don't know how much they also charge for, like, we don't know about marketing costs and things like that. Like, so it's impossible to reverse calculate and say that you know the price of the charts are. Like, it's not possible because you don't know what they spent on marketing. You don't know what they spent on other things with it, and they don't reveal it. So I can't sit there and say it costs this much and say 100% it costs this or it costs that, or it's just, you can't, unless the developer tells you. You ain't never gonna know exactly how much the development cost for the game is. We're just not gonna know. You know what I'm saying? We're just not gonna know. Honestly, I'm not capping. Like, we're just not gonna know. So that's just, nah. You can't say it that way, man. Honestly, thank you for the $10 though. Like I said, I'm not trying to be mean or cap or nothing, bro. But you just can't. The last gen versions that have never been sold. Yeah, maybe. People complain Switch 2 prices, buying Starbucks every day, spends hundreds on emotes, skins, battle passes, short cards. Yeah, once again, it's probably a vocal base of people too. So you also have to keep that up, you know, because people talk about how much they hate microtransactions and shark cards and all that, and that stuff sells like crazy, right? So yeah. Party Man Kart World says, I've watched the Mario Kart trailer a million times at this point. Looks awesome despite the rough price. Found lots of stuff in it. Yeah. Well, are you gonna buy the bundle, right, Party Man? You're just gonna get the bundle, right? That's probably the best option to go with. Let's see here. I mean, but just take a deep breath, because literally nothing costs $800, bro. So I don't know. You're hyperventilating, and you're to the points where you're just making up things now at this point. So if I were you, I would just calm down. I think you're talking about the PS5 Pro. PS5 Pro price is like 800 with like a disc drive. But no, the Switch 2 price is not 800. It's not. It's 450. It's 450, okay? So just calm down, all right? Let's see here. Yeah, name change. Oh yeah, the name change. Got it. Shout outs to Party Man Kart though. Shout outs to Party Man Kart World. I love physical, but I guess I'll get the bundle. Yeah. Yeah, that physical being 80 is just it's not mine. 3 years ago, 500 USD was 680 now, and now it's 710 CAD. Yeah, inflation, bro. Yeah, I'm happy with the safe space of Nintendo fans. Everywhere else losing their minds over LCD and price. I think it's really just, a lot of it's just people that are angry are probably still gonna buy it though. I mean, it's okay to be upset with the price though. That's fine. I still think that the system is awesome. I think the 450 price is fine. I think it's just people are upset about the $10 for Mario Kart. That's really all it is. So at the end of the day, it's like, okay, yeah, people are allowed to be upset about that. By the way, SDXC Express cards are a lot more normal, a lot more than normal micro SD cards. Yes, that's what I was talking about. The extra technology, exactly, Mr. Black. The only thing we can do, consumers not pay for something we don't want. That's it, pretty much. That's about the only thing you can do. I mean, you can complain too. Like, if enough people complain, sometimes you can get things changed. But I don't think the price of Mario Kart is a negotiable. To be honest, I don't think it is. But like I said, I think 70 would have been better goodwill. Just keep it at 70. There's no, I mean, I don't know what the extra $10 is gonna do for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, actually, no, it can do a lot over the course of, let's say you sell 1 million copies. Clearly, that's $10, right? Like, that's so yeah, that's clearly it'll rack up over the course of a generation. How much Mario Kart's gonna sell? I mean, clearly that's gonna rack up, but still. It's not really being a safe place, man. People are allowed to be upset. People are allowed to voice their opinion. The only time that I got upset with someone saying, like, acting all crazy is when they would just be sitting here making up stuff. That's something that I don't like. Like, oh, well, they're scared, or oh yeah, I told you it's gonna be Wii U levels of disaster. And I'm like, okay, well then bet me. You said I don't need to debate. Like, guys like that. It's like, come on now, you know good and well, because people are complaining online. People are complaining online about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Look at what happened there. How'd that do? All right. See what I'm saying? So people are complaining online about Pokemon Legends ZA. People complaining online about lots of stuff. People complaining online doesn't mean something's not going to do well. So I just, like, the cap is what I don't like, you know? People are allowed to have their difference of opinion, though. People are allowed to be upset or happy or not. Like I said, I got to toe the line. Like, I can't go all the way one way or another because, once again, I get stuff all the time. I get the digital codes. I still buy stuff, but I get the digital codes. And two, even if I had to buy it, which some stuff I am, I can write it off. So I have to kind of toe the line of, like, well, I'm a content creator, so it's a bit easier for me overall, you know? Tartar with the $5 says, this was the estimate from the community after the financials came out last year. Marketing isn't accounted for, but they did reuse assets from Breath of the Wild. And I agree, yeah, absolutely. But it's really, it's not about assets being reused or not in terms of something costing money. Yes, when you make a new asset or when you make something new, that definitely costs. But it's really more, the biggest thing with development is human resources. That's the biggest thing with development is resources. How long does it take you to make X, Y, or Z game? And how long are you paying X, Y, and Z people to make X, Y, and Z game? And how many people are you bringing in to do that? That is the biggest cost of development. You know, like now if Breath of the Wild was made like Majora's Mask, where it took them 1 year and they reused assets, and it's like, okay, that was cheaper, right? Miyamoto gave them 1 year or whatever to make the game. Like they got no time because he didn't want to spend a lot of money on the game. But Tears of the Kingdom was made over the course of like 6 years. They took 1 year of just pure optimization of the game. Plus they had to create a bunch. It's not on the same engine. They had to create a bunch of new physics and calculations and things for the game. So sure, assets, great. But they still had to create a bunch of new calculations and new things with the game and how the physics work and how things react. So it's just, I can't sit here and say, you're right, it costs 80 million. It should be this. That's just not accurate. It's just, you just can't do that. There is no accurate estimation that you can sit there and say, and then equate that to saying, well, then it should cost this. Like, it just doesn't work that way, man. I'm sorry. Like, I would love for it to be that way, but it really doesn't. I can't do that. I can't, because that's not fact. That's just speculation. It's not fact. So I can't sit here and act like, oh yeah, it costs that much, so it can cost. We can't play that as fact. You know what I'm saying? We can't do that because it's not fact. It's just speculation. So we can't say, well, since it's this, so that means it should be this. We can't conclude facts based off of speculation. We can just say we think, but we can't conclude that, well, it should be this because of my speculation. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't do that. Let's see here. I think the price increase is not just the game, but the features, in-game chat, in-game video, game shares. I mean, yeah, but that would be the increase of the increase of the price of the system, though, right? That's factored into the price of the system. I mean, yeah, I can see what you're saying, like game chat and all that, but you know, I don't know. I mean, I don't think people ask for that. I think people just ask for voice chat. Nintendo said, "Oh, you want voice chat? Oh, you're gonna get voice chat." So I was right about the engine. It's a Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom don't use the same engine. They don't use the same engine. Do they reuse assets? Yes, but they do not use the same engine. Believe it or not. I know people are saying it uses the same engine. It does not. So yeah. Atomic Toaster with the $1.99 says, shout out to Monolith Soft Switch 2 game. Oh my gosh, that's gonna cost $110, right? It's gonna be the biggest game ever made. My understanding, it was on the same engine. It is not on the same engine. It's not. I can look it up for you guys if you guys don't believe me, though. Like, I can show you. So yeah, here we go. So the new Zelda game title apparently has a game engine linked with Splatoon 3. So Splatoon 3 and Tears of the Kingdom, in a surprising twist, Oatmeal Dome says, in a surprising twist, it appears Tears of the Kingdom is actually built on the engine used by Nintendo Switch Sports and Splatoon 3. I was not expecting this. So it wasn't built on the same engine. Breath of the Wild and the Ring Fit game are built on the same engine. Those two games share the same engine. Splatoon 3 does not share the same engine with Breath of the Wild and Ring Fit Adventure. So Tears of the Kingdom is built on the Splatoon, Nintendo Switch Sports, and Splatoon 3 Nintendo Switch Sports engine. So they actually did switch engines, and I don't know why. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what Nintendo has in those engines over the Ring Fit, but I'm guessing that Nintendo Switch Sports and Splatoon 3 are newer versions, so it supported things that they needed to do newer, because Splatoon 3 and Nintendo Switch Sports are newer games. Ring Fit and Breath of the Wild are older games that were released in the first couple of years of the Switch, right? I think Ring Fit was a 2019. I forgot exactly when that game was, but yeah, I think it was before COVID. So, and whereas Splatoon 3 and Nintendo Switch Sports, those are after COVID. So, yeah, there you go. Let's see. That reminded me of the Dark Bloods, more of the Elden Ring or standalone. I think it's the not Dark Bloods. It's like the Dusk Blood or something like that. So yeah. But Nintendo does use Unreal. I can only imagine Nintendo saves a lot each year by most of the Nintendo games don't run on Unreal. They do use like Pikmin, and I think like a Yoshi game uses Unreal. There might have been like another game or two, but most Nintendo's games are not on Unreal Engine. They do use it very sparingly though. Roshdom with the $4.99 says, I wanted to be there day one, but I'm saving for a house later this year before my economy gets crazy. Definitely get one when I recruit funds. Yeah, exactly. You don't got to buy it day one. I mean, there's definitely gonna be people that wait for later. So yeah. Dust Bloods. Yeah, there you go. Dust Bloods. That's it. I may be a bit stupid, but what exactly is a game engine? It's the engine that the game runs on to do its calculations and for the game to operate and form. Now, there's other things like middleware that help with like physics and other stuff like that, but it's essentially, think of it as the foundation of a game. What do you build the game upon? Like, look at your house, right? When you get a house, you don't do the roof first. You do the foundation. You do the bottom of where the house is going to be. Think of the game engine as that. The foundation, how it's going to be built, the structure, the frames, and all that. How that works and how everything is going to be placed in there. It's like the bones, the skeleton, right? And then you have the other stuff. You have the blood in your body, right? You have the blood, you have everything else, but it's the foundation and structure of a game is the game engine. Let's see here. Do you think some investors of Nintendo will pull out over those prices? No. If anything, they're probably excited about the prices. If the prices are up, that means they make more. They think that they're gonna make more money. So why would an investor who's looking to make money say, "Wait a minute, prices go up? No, I want out." Like, unless sales start going down. But I mean, if Nintendo reports good profits, then no, then they're not gonna be like, I'm out because of the game prices. It's an investor. Investors like to see stuff goes up, especially if they think that they can sell that game. So that's actually, for investors, they're like, oh, that's a good thing. Unless obviously like the stock price goes down, like let's say tomorrow there's a hit in the stock price because of whatever, then that's definitely not a good thing. But then people just probably buy on the dip, you know what I'm saying? So people just buy on the dip, just like there was a dip when the Switch 2 was first revealed in January. There was a dip, and then people bought, and then all of a sudden it shot all the way back up to highs. So nah. That's what made me feel like 2014 again with the Wii U Bayonetta 2 outrage. I don't think there was as much outrage once people found out what Dusk Blood actually is. It's like a PvP VE type of game. It's not like a, like an Elden Ring, like it's like a multiplayer game. I heard from Family Boards that it was the same engine update and physics calculations. No. Oatmeal Dome, he's the authority on game engines and stuff like that, and Oatmeal Dome knows exactly what he's talking about, and it's not the same game engine. Like, Oatmeal Dome is the person. So I don't know who you're talking to on Family Boards or what's going on here, but I'm telling you right now, Oatmeal Dome knows exactly what he's talking about. So if you don't believe me, or if you're still saying Family Boards and stuff, trust me on this. Oatmeal Dome is the guy. He is the guy. He knows what he's talking about, and he would not say that it's not that if it wasn't that. So there you go. Here's what he had to say. So yeah. So, Tears of the Kingdom, in a surprising twist, it appears that Tears of the Kingdom is actually built on the engine used by Nintendo Switch Sports and Splatoon 3. I was not expecting this. For people just playing the game, it doesn't really mean anything. But in terms of game internals, it looks quite different compared to Breath of the Wild. I wonder if Tears of the Kingdom was a reason why that engine was built. The Nintendo and NSS plus Nintendo Switch Sports plus Splatoon 3 just happened to come out first. So also he says the best name that we have for this engine is the module system. So the module system. And I even asked the question how they use a different engine than Breath of the Wild. So yeah. So basically, it's a different engine. So it's that Oatmeal Dome, and that's pretty much known as, like I said, he's the guy. Oatmeal Dome, everybody knows him. He knows what he's talking about. So yeah. And it was reported on other like websites and stuff like that. So there you go. What's up? It says greatest showcase since Gen sends stuff. Price hike sucks, especially for physical game buyers. Yeah, price hike is bad for physical game buyers. Super Nintendo was $200 in the early 90s. This is about right. Yeah. If you adjust for inflation, then obviously, yeah, you can always justify anything adjusting for inflation. I mean, they might still bring over Dark Souls 3 and all that. I don't know if it's either or, but I think a brand new game it's always good to get a brand new game over like a game that's not brand new. Like, so I'll take a new game over an old game because I can already play an old game right now. So if it's a new game, then give me a new game. But I'm not like, oh my god, I need Dark Souls 3 or like I don't really need that. But I know other people will. But they got Elden Ring, so I think if you bring over Elden Ring, that's already like, okay, we don't need to bring over Dark Souls like right now at least. Like you can't do too much. So I think that one new game for next year and then having Elden Ring for this year is good. Yeah. So yeah.
I think you missed my super chat.
Oh, did
or
I?
I missed your comment.
My bad, Christian. Let me see if I read it. Christian Me World says, not those 5. I heard those were more listed. Oh, okay. So what you're talking about, Christian, is that it's just the regular games that get updates. I talked about it in my video today. So it's going to be Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, ARMS. It's going to be Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening, Legend of Zelda. What was it? Legend of Zelda, Echoes of Wisdom. There's a number of games. Super Mario 3D World, Super Mario Odyssey, yeah, ARMS. So yeah, I don't know the whole list, but that's like off the top of my head. Those are the games. Shout out to Chartar with the $2. Says, gotcha. I assume I can follow him on X. Yeah, he's on X. Yeah, Oatmeal Dome's the man. He always knows what he's doing with endgame engines and stuff like that. He's good, like with hacking and other stuff as well. In the 90s, the SNES were $85.90 before inflation. Yeah, I mean, I get it though, guys. Like, I get it. The cartridge prices were crazy back then. I didn't figure out the brand new IP that was aforementioned. Did you catch it? Which brand new IP are you talking about? Dustbloods or Dustblood or whatever? I'm seeing a lot of From Soft fans say that they're getting a Switch 2 for Dustblood. Really? Are you seeing that? Chrono Rig? I don't know if I saw that. I didn't see that. But then again, I don't follow Elden Ring fans, or I don't follow From Soft fans. So Switch 2 price greater than PS5 digital price, but I get it. Switch 2 is much more than a home console. PS5 digital price. What's the PS5 digital price? Is that $400? Yeah, the PS5 digital price. But once again, that's actually a fake. The fact that PS5 digital is $400, that doesn't really mean anything because you don't have the option of physical games at all. So like, it looks better on paper, but it's actually not a better deal because you have no option for physical games. So if you already have PS4 physical games, tough luck. If you already have PS5 physical games, that's also tough luck. You get nothing from that. So that's not a better value. The better value is the PS5 with the disc drive, so you can actually have physical games. So you can have the option, like if a game is on sale or something like that, physical, you can get the game on sale. So yeah, being priced more, like having the PS5 digital cheaper, that doesn't really mean much because you don't actually get a better price with the PS5 digital. Could tariffs have influenced the prices that we're seeing? Absolutely. Yeah, it could have for sure. Not even the digital disc drive ones. Astro was $450. Well, let's look it up. PS5. Yeah, the PS5 digital edition is some places you can get it for $399. With Astro, you can get it for $399. With that, some places have it for $450. It's really weird. Some places have it for $370. Like it's a variety of different prices. In terms of how much it costs. So yeah. There's some bundles that are more. It just depends, man. Like if you're talking about the Slim, the PS5 Slim. Can't take the PS5 with you though. Yeah, if you want to play it portable, you got to buy a PS Portal. Or you got to use. I mean, you can use your phone. You can use remote play, but you know. So yeah, I think the Kremlins of or K Rule at least may show up in DK Bonanza. Yeah, Jumpman, I know you're excited about that. I was willing to pay $600 for the new Switch, so I'm okay with the price. I mean, yeah, there were some of us that were definitely, you know, saving up and looking forward to it. But like I said, everyone's not gonna have the same opinion, you know. So yeah. Anyone in the VC allows communication among the players in your lobby game? It's just friends and party chat. I don't know. What do you mean allows VC communication to all players in their lobby? I think you have to like link up and like chat with them. I don't know how it's gonna work with like online multiplayer games. Like if you can like throw out invites or accept stuff. I'm guessing there's gonna be something like that, like with randoms. I mean, yeah, I didn't expect any Monolith soft games. I said it's a possibility, but I didn't say I was always kind of wishy-washy on it. I said it's possible, but I wasn't sure. But yeah, Monolith Soft just came out. I mean, obviously they just came out with Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. I think there's going to be an update for it later, but I think Monolith Soft's game will probably come at the next big Nintendo Direct, or maybe like one early next year. We'll probably see something from Monolith Soft, so it's coming. We got to have some announcements for later, though. I saw a lot of people saying they should have announced this and this. I'm like, guys, there's got to be. Don't worry, there's going to be more announcements. So there's going to be other directs. There's going to be more announcements. There's going to be more stuff like always. But in the Switch 1 era, it was like this all the time, where there'd be a direct and people say there wasn't this, and I'd be like, guys, there's going to be more. But no, I'm like, relax. There's going to be more. So people say, oh no, you're just coping. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'm coping. All right, we'll see. And then next direct comes out, and there's stuff else. I was like, see, told you. Oh well, I didn't know. I'm like, oh Lord have mercy. They've been doing directs for years. They've been doing directs for like a decade plus now. What do you mean you didn't know? So yeah. Switch 2 looks sick. Time to pay game 80 per game support game dev. Switch 2 looks sick. Time to pay 80 per game support game dev. You don't have to pay 80 per game. I think only one game is that, which would be Mario Kart, Donkey Kong 70, and other games can be like, I think there's one that's 40. Right? So every game's not 80. So yeah, you don't have to. Or if you want to just buy the bundle with Mario Kart, you don't have to do that. Or if you want to, like I said, just not buy the game, you don't got to do that either. But most of the games aren't. The Nintendo Switch 2 edition of Tears of the Kingdom and Kirby are 80, but if you have the Switch 1 cartridge for those, you can just do the $10 upgrade. So you don't have to spend 80 on those if you don't want to. Rusty's Real Deal Baseball was 80. RGT buying. Let's go. Let's see here. People are always asking for the next thing. You got it. But yeah. Oh, you're saying support the game developers, pay up to 80. I mean, you don't gotta pay up to 80 for the game though. There's other ways. You don't gotta do that. You don't gotta do that. If you don't have it, or you don't gotta do that. Also, what's up with these PC weirdos? Keep assuming that Switch 2 games will be costing 90. I think it's because of Tom Warren in Europe, because he said like the European prices. So they're just using dollar amount to convert it directly, but it's not 90 here in the US at least. It's 80 or it's 60 or it's 70 or it's 40 depending on the game. So yeah. That's where that came from though. Let's see, is it confirmed for $10 upgrade? Yes, that's what my Nintendo News said $10 to $15, but I saw 10 for it, like a $10 upgrade for it. That's what I saw, and that's what I saw people saying on, you know, like the accounts like Wario64 was saying 10 for the upgrade on that. But I mean, I might be wrong, I guess, since I'm not 100%. Let's see. You think it'd be cheaper to get the Switch 1 games on sale used than $10 upgrade? Yes, it would definitely be cheaper than buying like Tears of the Kingdom on Switch 2 for $80, which once again I don't agree with that. My brother got Tears of the Kingdom for $30. There's people that get Tears of the Kingdom for $50. Even if you get it for $60, that's still cheaper than paying the $80 for it. But once again, you don't get the whole game on cartridge. That's about the only, like, that game all comes on cartridge. So that's pretty cool that you get a whole Switch 2 version that's on cartridge. But if you don't care about that, which some people don't, then you don't got to worry about doing that, you know. So even like right now, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, you can get the game for you can get it for $51 on Amazon, right? That's still buying the game for $51 and then just getting the upgrade. That's cheaper than the $80. Just doing it that way. Or if you're gonna get the expansion pack anyway, then obviously you can just download the update. So But yeah, most places have it. Like Amazon, they have it for like 50 or 60 bucks or something like that. So that would still be cheaper than doing it that way. Like you can get it for like 52. There's 40. There's 40 something, 51. So it's just a variety of different prices based on the retailer. That's cheaper than doing it the $80 way. How much is Breath of the Wild? Breath of the Wild is 70 here in the US. But once again, Breath of the Wild is even cheaper than Tears of the Kingdom. So you can also get Breath of the Wild cheaper than Tears of the Kingdom. Or if you already have the game, once again, then it doesn't matter. Like most of us probably already have Breath of the Wild. Most of us probably already have Breath of the Wild. So if you already have Breath of the Wild, then it doesn't matter. So yeah. Yeah, Breath of the Wild, you can get it for, depends on where you get it at, but some places have it for 50, some places have it for 40 something, 50, so it just depends. I'm surprised they have to mention Switch 2 game voucher. They have no mention of Switch 2 game voucher, but I guess it's probably going to come after, come later in 2026. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to do a Switch 2 game voucher. I think that if they're going to do it, maybe they'd announce it now. But we'll see if they do. Like the red case remind me of the 90s, says Visage. I mean, some people like it, some people don't. Is it $10 to upgrade or just have NSO plus expansion pass? You can do either or. You can do a $10 upgrade or you can have the NSO expansion pass and you'll get them included. So it's either or. I think it needs to be said, this DLC with performance upgrades, not performance upgrades alone. People need to look at it that way. Yeah, I think that's also something that obviously gets lost in it. Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild doesn't have like actual content, DLC content. Now, Kirby does. Super Mario Party, Jamboree, plus whatever that does. Those two games do. But Tears of the Kingdom has features. It has quality of life features. It has an achievement thingy. It has like a Zelda notes. It has like little things. It has like a sharing. Like you can share your creations. It has like all these things that weren't in the original game. And obviously upgrades, right? So Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild don't have extra content like in terms of story stuff. Kirby does. You know, Jamboree, or not, is it Jamboree yet? Super Mario Jamboree does. So some of them do, some of them don't. So there's also that. No, they didn't say if Xenoblade 3 is getting an upgrade, but probably in the future. Breath of the Wild does have DLC. No, what I'm saying is that it doesn't have new content. Sorry. It has DLC. It doesn't have new content added in. It's the DLC that's already been there. It doesn't have new content. Like Kirby has like a brand new story, like a brand new thing. Jamboree has brand new mini games that include like the microphone and include other things. Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild don't have that with this upgrade. So yeah, I'll give credit where credit's due. What's up, whatever. Mario Kart World is looking like a huge game stuck with content. Yes, Mario Kart World looks awesome. So financially, there's no reason to buy the Switch 2 edition. The only reason to get the Switch 2 edition is if you want to have everything on cart. That's the only reason to actually buy it on Switch 2. If you want to have the physical cart with everything, oh my god, everything's on that cart. And since it's a remaster, like, they're probably not going to patch it. They're probably going to get everything ready, so it's probably going to get no patches because the game's already done. So that'd be the only thing. It's like, oh wow, I can have the whole thing on cart. Like I get the whole game. That's it. That's the benefit. If you buy it on Switch, if it's on Switch 1, obviously you're gonna have to download it. So there's that, right? Also, it's not gonna take up your system memory. I guess like the patch might take up your system memory. On cartridge, it's gonna run off the cartridge. So there's also that. So yeah, there's a screen explaining the Switch 1 enhanced games with Xenoblade Chronicles X. There's a screen explaining Switch 1. I don't think they said it's going to be enhanced. I think they just said it's going to be backwards compatible. I don't think they actually said it's going to be enhanced because on the official list for enhancements for games, Xenoblade Chronicles X isn't on there. So on the list that Nintendo has, it's not on there. So I don't know if they said enhanced. I think they just said backwards compatible. But unless I'm wrong, Massive Rican, let me know, and then we can take a look at it again. But that's what I first thought when I saw that. You know. So yeah, Xenoblade's not on the list for free upgrades or free updates and all that type of stuff like that. So it's not, but I think it could come later. It could come later down the line. Just I don't know about now. So yeah, we'll see on that. Toasters do. Why am I reading that? At least X and 3 will most likely run at solid 30 frames without a patch. No, there's not also not that too. I mean, it could, but you don't know because it's half half software, half hardware. So you don't know. It could run exactly the same. We don't know how the emulation is going to handle it. It could maybe run a little bit cleaner. It could not. We don't know. We got to test it. Once it comes out, we test it. Then we go from there. So yeah, man. Let's see. Is Pixel Remasters 7 through 10 or all of them? Pixel Remasters 7 through 10. I think Pixel Remasters is 1 through 6. Jump on. Pixel Remaster, that's 1 through 6. 7 through 10, those aren't pixel games. Those are polygonal. Those are 3D games. Let's see. He's saying the Switch 2 enhanced page. There is a screenshot using Xeno X as an example. Can you guys give me a link? Or who's a mod? Somebody that's a mod. Massive Rican. You should be a mod anyway. If you have a link to what you're talking about, let me know. And then I'll look, and then I can evaluate it from there. Because I don't know what you're talking about. So yeah, give me a link and I'll take a look. Because Nintendo put out a list of Switch 1 games that run better. Nintendo put out a list of Switch 2 enhanced games, and Xenoblade was not on that list. So all right, here we go. All right, hold up, guys. Give me 1 second. All right, you guys know what that calls. That's my wife. So we're gonna look at this one last thing, and then we're gonna have to call it a night. All right, let's see here. Okay. Free updates for selected Nintendo Switch games. Free updates to improve playability on Nintendo Switch 2 system will be selected Nintendo Switch games. By connecting your Nintendo Switch 2 to the internet, you can download free updates that may improve performance or add support for features such as game share in selected games. The contents of these free updates will differ depending on the game. Okay, this is it. This is it right here. So yeah, I don't see Xenoblade X. These are the games though. ARMS, Captain Toad, Treasure Tracker, Super Mario Odyssey, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics, Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, Garage or Game Builder Garage, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, Pokemon Scarlet, Pokemon Violet, Big Brain Academy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 games so far. So yeah, Scarlet and Violet being able to run good. That's actually kind of goated though. That's actually kind of goated though. So yeah. All right, guys, but I'm sorry. We're going to have to wrap it up here. Like I said, I didn't know how long I was going to be able to stream, but I've definitely taken way too much time. Way too much time in terms of things overall. So I've got a jet, but I want to say thank you to everybody that showed up tonight, man. You guys were incredible. We still went almost the full time, so that was pretty good. But yeah, I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for being awesome. Thank you guys for being incredible. You guys are goated like always. You guys are super goated. So yeah, thank you guys so much, man. $80 coming to your favorite developers. Shout outs, man. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Found out how to purchase an upgrade pack. Okay, I'll take a look at it, Massive Rican. I'll probably have to redo my what's it called? I'll redo my video. I'm gonna redo the video because I shot a video. I'm gonna redo it. So I'll edit it with maybe just individual things that, you know, certain things that you guys want to talk about. So I'll probably I'll make a new video and we'll talk about it. We'll get down to the bottom of it. All right, guys. Love y'all so much. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. And we will see you guys for the next one. Love y'all. I'll be back soon because I'm not going to really sleep too much tonight because I got to edit more. All right, guys. Peace out.